Ross, why does Zanzyk have no hit points left?
Okay.
Because you're unconscious on a fucking bed, because you got squished by a dragon and resurrected by an angry goddess.
3D puddle.
You have Zippo hit points. I told you this, you have Zippo hit points.
Perfect. But I have lots of temporary ones.
No, you don't. They're also at Zippo. Ladies and gentlemen, you sat relatively comfortably, or at least passably not agonizingly.
No.
Players, are you ready to play D&D?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
And everyone's bar, Claire, and Beth. I'm pretty sure Beth will flip me the bird there anyway.
I
probably did too.
You can't see me. I did.
Okay.
It's all good then. Fucking dragons.
I'll do it.
You're volunteering.
What, to tell you what happened last
Somebody
week?
actually volunteered? Holy hell.
I stopped. I was about to press enter to force one of you to do it, and the fact that he was volunteering, I'm just a rip. Okay.
Well, shit. All right.
Okay, so this time last week, I believe that Retsam was taken in manacles and chained up horribly by a bunch of other dwarves in a church that our friend Zanzyk is recovering in. Courtney now knows that she can hover or glide slowly to the earth without having to use a spell of snow, whatever it is, snowflake. I don't know.
Featherfall.
Yeah, that one.
I cast Snowflake.
So much cooler.
That is kind of cool, actually.
Just like you cough and just something like a small snowflake just pops out of your nose.
Yeah.
Baby white dragon ball.
Pretty sure I can just make that prestidigitation. Wait, I don't have that. Never mind.
Baby paladin rageblood.
There either.
We managed to sing a song to get an upstart thing going, and we worked out that every time he healed Zanzyk, he would wake up and pass out in huge amounts of pain. So we stopped that after a while.
After a while being the key part of that sentence, guys.
Alice, who thought that she was the coolest cat on the scene, decided to race off, knowing that she probably was the fastest cat on the scene. However, she didn't factor in that a young Azantis had a special spell which allowed her to teleport. So she teleported and waited for Alice, with both of them leaving me unattended, which I thought was quite funny. And I think that's about it. It's not all in chronological order, but it's there, and that's what we did. I think
there is a little bit more. So just to add to that for you, Clive.
Oh, we got the Drow girl on side. And...
Yes, you had an encounter with the little Drow girl who handed Azantis a set of keys.
That belonged to the guard.
Of the temple, yes. Cathedral, however you wish to phrase it. Said little girl is also currently escorting Azantis towards the Temple of Illustri to meet a certain matron mother.
I'm not going.
Yep.
Exactly.
Alice, did you choose to go with Azantis, or do you have? Is there...
Alice is going to be seeing Stone to see if they can have some time to let Zanzyk recover before the trial.
Okay.
Yeah, Alice left before we met the little girl.
She just
Alice
appears.
hasn't encountered
the Drow
girl yet.
Understandable. That's probably for the best for the time being.
Yes.
So we have Zanzyk in a bed.
Like, are you a dragon? You're a dragon, aren't you? You're a dragon with white hair and dark skin. No, I'm a dragon, not Draugen.
Oh, dear God. So we have Zanzyk in a bed in agony, unconscious because he died. Retsam in a cell because he's been tried for heresy.
Unshackled.
Unshackled in a cell for heresy. We have a smaller dwarf going to meet a matron mother of a drow. We have Alice doing Alice things.
Going to see an actual dwarf.
And then there is Zanzyk, who is unconscious doing Zanzyk unconscious brain thinkery things. And Blitz, where are you going? Are you just going to mill about, or are you going
I'm-
to investigate Zanzyk again?
I'm basically going to be going between Zanzyk,
Mm-hmm.
who I know is unconscious, and then walking as close to the stairs that go down to where I believe Retsam to be, and seeing how far I can get, whilst playing music, a certain song, to uplift his spirits, considering they're about him and the rest of the party, and those that helped us with defeating Pongo.
Every time you move towards one of the side doors that you're pretty sure they took Retsam down, there's a pair of what look to be Dragonborn paladins of custom swords of your faith who look at you as you approach, and they go, "Don't. Just don't. It's really not worth the hassle."
I'll play a bit louder, nod at them and smile, walk away.
Please
And
don't
come back 5
antagonize
minutes later.
They're just like, "Please don't antagonize the dwarves."
Can I get a message to Retsam? Can you get a message to Retsam?
No, we're not allowed to interfere. You're much better off asking a particular individual who is not loitering around at this point that may appear later. I will tell you this, she has a striking resemblance to your friend Retsam.
Which is a dwarf.
You are an insufferable, stupid little squishy, aren't you? Sort of Dragonborn says to your face.
Look, you all look the same. They all look the same.
The white Dragonborn and the black Dragonborn look at each other. They look back at you.
I don't mean to be rude. It's just, I'm guessing that all of my lot look the same to you guys as well.
The dark scale Dragonborn leans down as we were trying to be subtle, indicating that one of his relatives is about and might be able to assist you.
Got you. And it's a dwarf.
Yes, generally dwarves are related to other dwarves.
Great. I'm going to go sit with Zanzyk. I don't suppose you could send them my way. It's
We
really
will-
important business of the church. Tell them.
I can certainly try, though currently the church is absorbing the medical care costs for your friend.
Who was brought back by gods.
Yes,
It's a miracle.
we know. The fact
Excellent.
you're still alive is a fucking miracle.
I agree. I'm going to go see Zanzyk now. I'll play the tune as I go off. About brave Sir Retsam.
Okay. Alice, you have the wonderful, you get to witness that small exchange between the tiefling and the dragonborn.
Alice is going to kind of wait for Blitz to have left before going down towards them.
The white dragon and the black dragon will just look at you and go, "You're about as subtle as he is walking forward like that."
I'm not an Indraconic. I'm not trying to be subtle.
Oh, good. It means at least you know how to be subtle.
I'd like to think so. I was wondering if Stone was about.
He's the one of the dwarves of Gone, doesn't he?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, he doesn't like his actual name, from what we're told.
Yeah.
Insists on being referred to as Stone.
I tried to get it out of him. He wouldn't tell me either.
No, one of them picks up a cup and just it's like a sealed container, and he just goes, and just picks up a glass, he pulls like a small cup out of his pocket. It's just pours himself a drink. He doesn't like himself. They're not perceiving you as a threat in any way, shape, or form. They're being quite casual.
Yeah.
We can't leave our post, but if we see one of the dwarves going past, we'll let them know you're looking for him.
Okay, I will be in the main foyer area.
Understandable. If he comes past, we'll point him your way.
Thank you very much.
No problem. You see, this is how you get stuff done. Ask him politely, not trying to go down, annoying the dwarves. That's how you get stuff done. Because the last time we had to break up a dwarven bar fight, that wasn't fun.
I'm trying to get that point across to him, but I have only been with them a few days.
Someone's been with him, as long as that tiefling has. He's not got through to him, so I think you're probably barking up the wrong tree.
We can hope.
For some reason, our Lord's decided that he's worth at least investing some effort in, so...
She nods. Yes. Not something I have much knowledge of, but I'll take your word on that one.
Right, have a little faith. I'm sure things will work out in the end. Precisely as they're meant to.
Exactly. And thank you very much for your time. And yes, if you see Stone, just let him know I'll be over there.
Aye, aye.
And then she'll wander off and find somewhere to sit. But
There are a number of pews to choose from. All of them are standard and wooden and have some small cushions on them.
she will take a seat, kind of probably in the back.
There's in the back of the pew in front of you. There's like prayer books, like tucked in, like you get hymn books in a modern church.
She would take a look at them, just look through them, see what they're like, because she doesn't really do the whole religion thing. Not like the rest of the party, anyway.
As you reading through, you can run me a religion check if you'd like.
I'll probably help if I have my sheet open.
I mean, no further comment. On a natural 20.
Wow!
First roll of that evening, guys, a natural 20. Good
That
job.
was not expected.
There's
One
actually quite a lot of good stuff in here. Like a lot of it's very motivational. It's about, yes, you get knocked down, but getting back up again. There's a lot of stuff about positive thinking, reinforcing that, yes, things are bad, but they can always do better. You know, it's essentially there's a lot of feel-good stuff in there. There's a lot of things like prayers that have quite significant meaning, though it's very not quite cookie cutter, but it's very general, so people could apply it to their own situations. There's also an important fostering this about community and, you know, and building that and being part of something greater.
So is this just a generic prayer book for the temple, or is it for one of the gods specifically? Because I know
This
there are
entire
several shrines.
cathedral is dedicated to Custodius Swords, or as
Yeah.
you know from Goddard.
Yeah.
There is not, so there are smaller shrines set up to Gondam Moradin in different wings, essentially for the visitors. But this whole central pew area that's pointing straight forward at the altar is entirely for the major deity of this area, or this
So
temple.
Goddard being awesome.
Yes.
Noted.
I will also express apologies now if you guys can hear the rain. The heavens have just opened, so just picture it as roll 20 what noise for rain. In fact, I will put rain sound effect on just because. Here we go. Yeah, if you guys could let us know if the rain does get really, really bad. We're both wearing noise isolating headphones, so we can't hear it very easily. But yeah, you sit down. It's an interesting read, actually. It is just a generic prayer book. You get the impression that actual, like, full-on clergy would have very different books.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll pass the time reading it.
Okay. It's at that point we'll cut to Xanthus.
What's up?
Xanthus, you're walking through the streets of the temple district of Frey Hollow. You're following Amara, the young drow, who is essentially skipping and whistling to herself as she goes. She is clearly not intimidated by the increasingly dark and back streets of the temple district you're going through. Until she reaches what essentially is like a glorified set of steps down into the subterranean passageway. She goes, that way.
Okay. She's gonna give it a second and wait for her to go down first.
Oh, I'm not going down.
You're not?
No, I've got other stuff to do.
Okay.
They know I've walked you this far. I only walk people this far, but I want to introduce to Mum. So she knows.
They know? Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Okay.
What do you think security's for? It's not going to be obvious.
Look around a little bit. What the hell?
Roll me a perception check. You're looking for security. You don't see any security. You're pretty sure this whole alleyway is like there's nobody else here.
I'm gonna look back at Amara for a second and be like, okay. Alright. And I will go down the stairs.
Okay. So you plod down the stairs into what essentially is a glorified pipe. It's for the British members of the audience, it's a lot like walking through some of the older tunnels between underground stations. It's like a flat bottom, and then it's like a proper pipe almost. Along the walls are tiled mosaics depicting different scenes. These scenes, unfortunately, mean very little to you as you're not involved in Illustrious faith.
Yeah.
But as you walk forward, it sort of snakes round, starts going down, turns around another corner, and it's getting increasingly gloomy. And when you walk a little bit further forward, you see it just looming out of the dark. So it looks to be a pair of drow holding what look to be halberds in front of essentially like a small archway at the other end, which looks like it's got, a almost portcullis set up above it. They both eye you as you begin approaching.
I'm gonna make sure that, not obviously walking up with my hands up or anything like that, but I'm gonna make sure that both hands are in view and walk up to them.
The one on the left, these are both male drow. The one on the left says, "You're expected. Amara doesn't usually do to the door delivery."
Right.
That and you're not a tiefling. Specifically, that tiefling.
I have a sneaking suspicion of which one you're talking about.
You have a sneaking suspicion. What you mean is you know for certain. Don't try and hide behind double meanings and other such coins of phrase in front of the matron. She has grown weary of those in her time.
Short, sweet, to the point. Got it.
Yes. It gets dark down there, and do you have sufficient means to see in the dark?
I think so. I have dark vision, don't I, Ross?
Pretty sure you do, but they're just being courteous.
Oh. I think I can manage.
Understandable. Well, once you pass through this gate, it's another few more steps forward, and you'll reach essentially a circular staircase that will take you down. You should have a reasonable view over the majority of the open area at the front of the temple. The matron's room is behind the altar. It's the first door directly in front of you.
Okay. Thank you.
Not a problem. There will be some small lights in here for those who are not of Drow faith, not of Drow origin, though please to be aware bright lights will get you kicked out.
Understood.
Thank you. For once, I didn't have to beat up a Dragonborn. That's nice.
She would chuckle at that, and if she's not already, would kind of hold the wings closer to her back instead of just letting them fan out like she would usually.
They look at you and say, you don't need to be self-conscious. We're Drow living on the surface.
Fair enough. What was that for?
Sorry, I flipped the birds silent because he did air quotes. I knew what he was saying, and I'm just being a dick.
Okay.
Look, much closer to the surface than the Underdark. Don't give me degrees of separation here.
Okay.
But I don't think they're deep enough to be in the middle dark.
I'm a dwarf. Depth is kind of my thing.
Yeah, clearly not in personality. Ladies and gentlemen.
That was harsh.
That's a bird.
Spicy.
Looks like Retsam's becoming lawful idiot.
Maybe I thought he already was.
There's the carry-on sass. Right. Sorry.
I thought he was lawful good. I thought that was inherent.
He's lawful good, but he's not lawful idiot.
I mean,
You mean they don't mean the same thing?
Heresy?
Also, he's neutral good, because technically he's a heretic.
Oh, that's fair.
Sorry, so going back from a minor deviation, God knows whether that'll make the cut. Xantis, you step past the Drow. They don't stop you. They're not. There's no movement from them. You only actually saw his mouth really move, and when he made a very slight gesture to you when you shifted your wings uncomfortably. As you step forward, you do step under the portcullis and away. You do see, just looming out in the darkness, as you look forward and down over the railing of these steps, the lower railing of these steps. They don't judge. They have 2 sets of railings. You can see looming in the darkness sort of like pews, and just there's a single shaft of what looks to be almost like manufactured moonlight shining down on a statuette on what looks to be the altar. It's of essentially what looks to be like a female drow form with hair sort of moving, almost moving in the wind. Essentially, looks like this person's dancing almost with what looks to be a silver greatsword in one hand. It's surprisingly elegant, and it catches your eye for just a second. It's clearly the holy symbol sat on the altar.
Yeah.
But you can head down the stairs. You can see little pinpricks of light dotted around in the different pews, where it's clear there are some non-drow faithful in the temple.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd probably... Did you say that the altar was near the steps?
The other side of the temple from the steps.
Other side of the temple.
You can just sort of... It's the one, like, a major light source.
Yeah.
Major being in air quotes.
Okay. So if it's not nearby, then I will just go ahead and head down the steps.
Mm-hmm. So you reach the ground level to the main hall of the temple. And the matron's room, as you've been instructed, is beyond the altar, straight ahead beyond the altar. Are you just going straight for it?
Yes, but I'm probably not running in there.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of weird, and I'm not. Underground's not really my favorite place.
No, I understand that. It's odd for you as well. Looking around this temple, it's supposed to be about redemption and that hope. Yet there's a lot of dark in here. There's a lot of things just looming at the edge of your dark vision that look almost gothic horror-esque, just looming in the shadow.
Yeah.
It's very unsettling at times.
A little bit, yeah. So, yeah, I'm not veering off anywhere to look at anything, but I'm certainly taking my time about it.
Mm-hmm. So a few moments walking and taking in, you do reach sort of that front of the temple. You now can see in front of you the very basic, very simple stone table that is the altar with this holy symbol perched on it, and you can make out beyond it several, essentially like 2 antechambers and another door behind, set one in the center, then 2 on either side.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like antechambers.
Okay.
Do you go up to them?
Yes.
Okay. The center door as you approach, it just sort of creaks open, and you hear very softly, "You may enter. You are expected."
So much in my previous gate, I will continue forward.
Mm-hmm. You walk into a room, and it's fairly well appointed, but it is at the same time very simply appointed. Sat at a table in the sort of like a desk, looking at you, is a slightly almost older looking, just from the way she's carrying herself, female drow. She has hanging around her neck sort of a smaller symbol, much like the one on the altar. She's wearing very well made yet not showy, clerical robes.
Yeah.
Sort of looks at you and goes, "I had wondered when someone would introduce me to you."
I would kind of bow my head slightly in respect.
A respectful one. That's a change. Normally they send the tiefling when Zanzyk is available.
Well, so I've heard, he's not exactly the best with people. He's all right with words, but
I think he's okay with most people. I just think it's tact he needs to work on.
that we can agree on.
Everyone's redeemable, mostly.
Mostly.
Now, Zanzyk generally only comes to talk to me when he needs guidance, and your peers in the wandering party, she does air quotes, I find it surprising you consider yourselves wanderers when you have a home, but nonetheless, who am I to judge? Your peers only generally come knocking when there's something they require. I believe I've already worked one miracle in your benefit recently.
I was unaware that was you who performed that.
It was.
And it's greatly appreciated.
I'm glad. It was no small effort. My deity is not particularly impressed with Zanzyk at the moment.
Is there a reason for that? If I might ask.
I was not the first to call for Zanzyk to be returned to us. I believe your deity, she nods to your own sort of where your necklace is sat, even though you're not showing off the symbol itself, had been pestering somewhat by proxy through another holy individual. I believe Illustri was most displeased, as I do not believe she originally intended to give up Zanzyk's soul again.
Oh. She doesn't sound particularly happy.
I think she may well not be, though whether or not that proves to be for the benefit or not his remains to be seen. Zanzyk still has much to give. He is but a child in terms of Drow age. So there is still time for him to survive her ire and be redeemed in her eyes.
What might he have to do in order to do that?
I believe that is solely between he and Illustri. I am not privy to all things. I am just particularly good at discerning the omens, as it were. Now, if you don't mind, Azantis, you don't mind if I call you Azantis, do you?
Not at all.
Good. How can I help you today? Do you seek counsel the same way Zanzyk does? Or is there something I can do to help you?
Zanzyk is still in a bit of a way.
He was crushed by a dragon, then resurrected with barely the most minimum healing the deity could provide to ensure his vessel can sustain life.
Right.
I imagine he's going to be in a bad way for some time.
I don't suppose there's any way to speed that along.
Quite possibly, but with how irritated the Divine One is with him, I suspect using divine means to heal him might cause him more harm than good at this time. That is my suspicion, of course. I have no way of proving it. I trust you have seen Zanzyk?
I have.
What happened when you tried to heal him magically?
He didn't seem to enjoy it very much. That much is
Then
for certain.
Perhaps my hypothesis is valid.
Certainly makes sense. Well, in that case, we have one who's in a bit of a bind.
If you're referring to your friend, the paladin heretic dwarf, then yes, though when we saw him he was not exactly bound. He was more walking freely towards what his imprisonment.
Yes. It seems to be, if anything, it seems to be a bit less severe than we had expected before the fiasco outside the city.
If you are about to ask me to speak on Retsam's behalf, I would have to politely decline.
What would you do in this situation?
What would I do? Well, I think there's several different options you have at your disposal. Amara has helped potentially to facilitate one. There are alternatives. I believe there are the dwarves that may be more partial to Retsam's beliefs than are previously noted amongst those of Gond. And you understand I do not condone any acts of manipulation or murder in the parts of the clergy, but the unfortunately well-timed death in the battle against Pargo of Retsam's particular naysayer was most convenient, no? It's almost
Certainly
like,
was.
It's almost like fate is looking out for you and your party.
It does seem to look that way.
Perhaps you should use what you have at your disposal already. And let fate help you, perhaps. For sometimes leaps of faith are required. I trust you are new to the clergy.
Yes.
It's understandable. It might be worth if you should make your way to Northdale, visiting the Grand Cathedral there for the new gods that are rising. Goddard built it. He was a vessel at time for his own, from what I understand, his own deity, the old god Kalemvor, the Lord of the Dead. It was his first act and the last point in which he touched the mortal soul before he ascended himself to godhood. I believe his own son now dwells there as the head of the clergy. Mayhaps he might be able to offer you further guidance and counsel in terms of things of the faith. I apologise. My wisdom and knowledge only extends to my own faith.
Of course.
And while I can counsel you from experience, the Underdark and the Surface World operate in slightly different, shall we say, methods of operation. They have given him a trial, which is more than what they would have done in the Underdark. They would have simply killed him. So perhaps you see it through. Perhaps your peerage, Zanzyk, yourself, and the Tiefling are more... And was it the archer you have with you as well now? What was her name?
Yes.
They told
Alice.
Me. Alice? Yes, the one with the bow. Interesting weapon, that one.
Yeah.
It might be prudent to use what you have at your disposal. It would be interesting to see through what they are allowing you. Because it is more sophisticated and in some ways, I suppose, civilized than what would have happened elsewhere.
I believe there's more at work than what we may fully understand.
Zanzyk, the thing you pick up as you get older is there's always more at work than perhaps what you understand. Especially when it comes to the gods and their interactions on the mortal plane.
Yeah, that's... Well, let's just say things still surprise me about that.
Good. That means you still enjoy life. It's when you become apathetic to such things that you should begin to worry. Extremes of emotions are good things. Unless you know you're alive. Now, perhaps you should talk to Zanzyk. See about wheeling his bed towards where they choose to hold this trial. If nothing else, he's relatively good at orating, even if it is only under duress.
I think she would actually chuckle at that, thinking of like how injured he still is.
Mayhaps.
It's a rather amusing picture, if anything.
Yes, well, when he comes to ask me questions, he can phrase them relatively well, and only takes him a few pokes to get him in the right direction. Between you, you make a surprisingly interesting team. And for what it's worth, with him back, I do hope to see where you go in the future. Though, don't tell him I said that. He'll tell me I'm going soft, and I can't have that.
No, of course not.
She
We'll
smiles.
be sealed away.
She smiles and good. Now, unfortunately, I have other appointments to attend to today. I apologise for cutting this short, Xantis.
No, of course.
Should you wish to speak with me again, unfortunately, you'd be subject to the same rules non-members of the church are. You'd have to book an appointment.
Naturally.
Bureaucracy everywhere these days, I suppose.
Everywhere.
Well, good, appropriate time of day, she gestures vaguely upward.
Be well. Thank you for your time.
You're more than welcome.
And I will back out of the room.
May Lystri guide you. And
So once I've backed out, I'm gonna head back up.
And then as you head back up towards the surface, we'll cut to Retsam. Hi, Retsam.
Hello, my name is Retsam.
You're in a cell. I say cell. It's
Indeed.
It was clearly once a dormitory of some description that has been stripped out and made bare. There's essentially there is a bad, mouldy-looking bed and a bucket in here. You have had your armor removed from you. You've had all weapons and items confiscated. And the door is securely locked.
I am going to knock on the door and ask if there's anyone on the other side.
A couple of seconds pass. No.
Oh, darn. I was going to ask for a tiny favor, if possible.
What do you want, heretic?
You may have noticed that I appear to have made a animal friend. A sweet little thing. I was going to ask if it would be possible to get, say, some kind of potted plant. The gnats and insects that would be accompanying this plant would be sustenance for my flying friend.
You have a potted plant. It's latched onto your forearm.
Well, yeah, but bugs crawl in the dirt within the root system, and this little bird, its main dietary requirements are both nectar from a plant and bugs. So I understand if not, but I would have appreciated it.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Let's persuade this mother flipper. 17.
I'll see what I can do.
Hey, I appreciate that. Please don't go to any trouble. But thank you.
Do you hear some heavy footsteps moving away?
After I hear... Sorry, go ahead.
Then you hear very quietly, "Psst. Hey."
Hello?
You get yourself into all kind of messes, don't you?
Hello? Well, what is life if not the adventure? And adventures are very rarely clean affairs.
Oh, my roll 20 crashed.
Handy.
We'll win.
Sorry, I don't need roll 20 right now. I can do narrative. So, we will rejoin the situation which we left off in when the rains decided to make it sound like my microphone was having a seizure. Everyone. I don't know if you can hear that music. My machine has decided it's going to start playing the Clash of Kings on the Roll20 page for some bloody reason. Stop.
No,
Stop.
just
I broke it. Okay, so I believe we were in a cell with a Retsam.
I do believe we were, yes.
And you've just been spoken to.
Yes. Do I notice who is talking to me?
It's not somebody in the room.
Is the voice coming from outside of the room?
Yes.
Is it coming through the door, through a window, through a secret passage?
No, just coming through the door.
Do I recognize the voice?
You do.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how familiar am I with this voice?
One might say it's related.
Well, all things are relative if you go back far enough.
Yep, says the dwarf on the rock.
Well, you know me, I always have a way of finding trouble.
You do, and then bailing it out of the trouble it gets itself in.
Sometimes we're watching someone's back, sometimes they're watching ours. Sometimes we're punching a dragon in the face.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't do much of that. You just sort of threw a hammer at it. There's a scraping sound as something is pushed under the door. It's very light. Look, I don't have long. The what's his face back with that potted plant you asked for in a moment. But I'll see you soon.
I look forward to it, sweet one. I take whatever was pushed through the door and I inspect it.
What is pushed under the door to you is a small wooden coin.
Would this be a familiar coin to me?
It would be. It's like the one you left in a strategic drop.
I shall put that... Well, first off, I make sure that there's nothing changed about the coin. Just want to make sure it's 100%.
There is absolutely nothing different that you can immediately discern about this coin. It is carved from wood. It has the symbol of Gond on one side and the symbols of Illustri on the other.
I shall pop that coin into a separate pocket to where the rest of my coins are, assuming that they were left on my person.
You were stripped of all of your possessions, including your coin pouch.
Then I shall pop it into a pocket. You know what? I'm going to actually hide it in my beard, in my thick, bushy beard.
Okay.
Just in case I'm searched again. And with that, I shall begin reciting poetry to my hummingbird friend.
Okay.
But I would actually like to cast a spell.
Ooh, and what spell would you like to cast?
Speak with animals.
Okay. You cast Speak with Animals.
I turn to the hummingbird and I say, hello. I've sent for some food for you.
Hi. Food is good.
Yes. Wanted to make sure you could eat.
That's good. I like food. Food is yummy.
That was my plan. As long as you are with me, I shall try my best to take care of you, little friend.
Then the only word that comes out of his mouth in rapid succession is a flap, 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 flap. As it starts going up and down and side to side.
And with that, I shall go back to reciting poetry, almost as if I can hear music just drumming from outside somewhere, theoretically.
As you can still understand the bird as it's floating around, you just hear, and now I'm here. Now I'm here. I'm going over there. Now I'm there. Now I'm here. Hello.
I'm over there.
Oh, shiny. And then it's over there. Over here looking at the shiny. Over there looking at the wall.
You're a good friend, little hummingbird.
Hummingbird just sort of lands on the tree. Now I'm on the weird tree growing out of a bigger thing that's definitely not a tree, though. It has a fuzzy beard.
Trees with fuzzy beards.
It has moss beard. That's your name now, Mossbeard. You're my friend and my pet. It sits on the little tree. I claim you.
That's fair enough.
Nap time. And it just like flops in the, like it goes in the tree, like it just a little tree on your arm, and just like falls asleep.
And with that, I'm satisfied.
There's some heavy footsteps. The door is pushed open like a fraction of an inch, and a potted plant is shoved through the door gracelessly. It's in a little clay pot. It just skids across the floor and lands. Like, sort of comes to a stop, like listing to one side, almost worryingly.
I scoop up the plant. I assume there's a window And a windowsill I can put the plant upon.
There is not.
There is not.
No.
Is there any source of
small,
outside light?
There is a small, almost looks to be some sort of magical light just floating in the center of the room.
Okay. Then I shall put the plant in the center of the room so that it is bathed in light. And I shall say, "Thank you, friend. I shall endeavor to be no more trouble."
Blah.
Are you quite all right?
It's beer o'clock and I'm stood here guarding a fucking cell.
Oh, I do apologize. When all this is over, I'll make sure that you are recompensed in beer for the trouble. We have some...
Say yes, but heretic beer is still heretic.
It's not made by myself. We have a staff who make the beer. Regardless of outcome,
by association is.
Well, you say that. I've associated with many a dwarf in my time. Should they all be condemned for knowing me?
No further comment.
Well, again, I don't seek to be any bother, but thank you for the plant.
Mm. You can roll me a perception check.
You're right, I can. It's not going to go very well. 13.
You hear a grumble and you hear what sounds distinctly like Retsam being muttered under his breath. And that is where we'll cut, as you have a moment to think about what to respond. As I heard the bird flip to be again. Zanzyk.
I'm unconscious.
You slowly return to the agonizing world that is consciousness.
You sure about that?
Yes.
You're only doing this now because I was going to have a nap.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You are returned slowly to consciousness, the door slamming shut. As Blitz enters.
You don't get quieter.
Twang. Hello. Boring.
You're bored.
You're talking at last? Right. We need to do a few things. You need to be able to sit in a wheelchair and get pushed around and talk on behalf of Retsam.
Okay.
Shit's gone down. Open your eyes.
I need you to do me something.
No. You're going to tell me to shut up or go away. So no.
I mean, not shut up, but...
Just go away.
I need some things for my room.
Okay, what do you need?
There is a box on the side. It has a big red cross on it.
Okay.
I need you to fetch it.
Anything else?
Someone who knows how to use the things within it.
What's in it?
It is one of the healing kits for next door. The halfling. He's been reading up. Get it?
Okay, anything else?
Not be so loud.
Anything else?
No. Stop
Okay.
trying to fucking heal me with the magic shit.
I've stopped that. I got told to. Because your eyes kept opening up and then you'd sort of like pass out and it was pointless. Right.
Thank you.
I will be back shortly. And I will dash off to the pub, slamming the door quite loudly, obviously in my rush to get there.
Zanzyk, because the door slams, you grimace. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Killed Zanzyk again.
Because I've set up.
There will be no nap. But as the door slams shut, you swear you hear Zantz making a very undignified squeaking sound, as if in quite a lot of pain and trying not to show it. You get the impression you just made him jump.
I get the impression that I might want to open a door and do it again, but I'm not going to. Just for shits and giggles. I will head back to the pub, and I'll also ask, when I eventually get there, Chris for a strong pick-me-up, something that will just put a few hairs on Zant's chest and keep him going.
So as you're travelling back, we'll cut to Alice. Alice, what are you up to?
Totally not eating my dinner. Alice is sat in the pews, reading the prayer book, waiting for Stone.
There's a creak as the pew next to you shifts as a dwarf sits down next to you.
She puts the prayer book, she closes it and puts it on her lap and looks to him. Hi.
Hello.
I know, he's a heretic and everything. And, guilty by association. But I kind of need a favour. She'll speak in Dwarven.
His immediate response is, literally his sister saying almost the exact same words. I need a favour. It's what brought me into this mess in the first place, right?
I didn't know he had a sister, but...
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
He does. And a brother.
What are they like?
So one's the leader of a mainstream fanatic mob in service to Gond.
That somehow doesn't surprise me.
And the other is, she's better left described once you eventually meet her.
Okay. That's somewhat worrying.
She's a little different to the other two.
Different in a good way?
If you want to put a label on it, we'll say different in a chaotic, neutral kind of way.
Oh, that could be fun. Yeah, that's not why I'm here though.
I mean, it's been interesting. I mean, she got her brother banished because he saved her ass, and the other one still wants her dead, but has no reason to get rid of her.
Sounds like a lovely family.
I don't know. You should meet the parents.
What do they do?
I wish I could talk about it.
Even
of course, that's all rumours and hangry. We don't know if if their brother's actually trying to kill them. It just seems like sending them to the arse end of nowhere is a bit of a dick move.
I mean, that's generally what you do when you want to kill someone and don't want your hands.
So what are you doing in the arse end of the world?
What, here?
Yeah.
Helping friends.
When they send people to the arse end of the world, it's only because they want to get rid of you.
I kind of sent myself here.
Do you need to talk to a cleric?
I've talked to several, apparently, and they're all fucking nuts.
I mean, I thought that was druids that did that.
No, not fucking nuts.
Oh.
They're just nuts. Like, nuts in the head. Crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Gravel brains.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Sorry, different
Dwarf.
he gestures. Yeah, different what is it? Metaphors and stuff. That's the one.
But yeah, so I kind of bought myself here because, dragon issue.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
No, it really wasn't. I got a cool
Shockingly.
bow, and then the dragon kind of exploded, and my bow went missing, and it really hurt. And getting blown up by lightning isn't fun.
I mean, at least you weren't wearing too much metal at the time.
I'm a ranger. Why would I wear metal? It's clanky.
Protection it affords.
Yeah, but being sneaky and not being seen offers just as much protection.
I mean, I don't know. Because
Pats the
you can
dwarf
be
on the
seen
shoulder.
and protected by armor, or you could be unseen, get seen, and get shot by everyone because you're something
Yeah,
you
but
shouldn't
the
be.
trick is you don't get seen.
Yeah, but the trick is you just destroy their defenses with overwhelming firepower.
Yeah, but I can do that from like 200 feet away and not have to worry about it. And that's
Just
generally
looks at you and just shakes his head very slowly, not in the same realm as
not in.
firepower.
I am aware you're probably talking big. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But
There's just a slow
bigger than a
grin
bow.
forming under the beard. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have to get close enough for anything to be able to hit me. It's fine.
Fair enough.
But yeah, this favour.
Hmm.
Do you know when the trial is gonna be?
That's still sat with the guy that replaced the guy that really hates Retsam.
That is a really, really handy but unfortunate death.
Yeah, it's convenient.
Yeah, very convenient.
Yeah.
But his counsel, legal counsel, is currently a 3D puddle over there. And we kind of need the trial to be when he isn't a 3D puddle anymore.
Have you considered just
Possible.
putting sticks against his body and using them to help shape him and then just walk him like a fucking puppet?
That
As long as he can still
implies
talk.
he would stay conscious long enough for it to matter.
That's what painkillers are for, isn't it?
Yeah, but there are only so many painkillers you can give a person before they die.
Right.
Again.
He's a drow.
They still have a limit.
Yeah, but this is a very lucky drow.
With a very pissed off goddess.
I imagine he probably doesn't want him back.
Not anytime soon, anyway. But yeah, if there is anything that could be done to try and waylay things a little bit longer till Zanzyk is at least able to stay conscious for more than 30 seconds.
You see he like brushes his beard, like pulling it down like he's thinking. I can think of a couple of things. Primarily with one of them being chaotic neutral. He pushes himself up. I'll see what I can do, but I don't make any promises.
Thank you for trying.
No problem. Oh, they are filing a secondary charge, by the way.
For?
Being an ally of a red dragon. In Rockhall, that's generally referred to as treason.
Yeah, I have my own issues with that.
Yeah.
And she just nods and walks back.
Just so you're aware.
Yeah. She nods and will head back towards Zanzyk's room.
You see Blitz just bolt out from that direction, running out of the temple.
She blinks and shouts, "I'm still faster!" And continues.
Fair. Azantis.
I'm going to go back to eating my dinner.
Yes.
What are you up to? What are you doing?
Let's see. I was just leaving the matron mother.
Yep, you were just walking out of the Temple of History. So you walk back out of the piping, back up into this dark back alley, take a couple of steps forward towards the first beam of light, and just hear, "So how'd it go?"
Is that Amara's voice I'm hearing?
Yep.
And I would assume if I turned around, she's standing right there.
Pretty much.
Okay. It went surprisingly well, actually. I learned a lot.
Good. I'm glad. She's good at being wise and insightful.
So she is.
Yeah, she's old.
Well, I won't be the one to tell her that.
No, but she probably heard me say that, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I suppose I should be... I feel like I take a step forward and hear the crinkle of the guard keys that are still in my pocket.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Technically, you're still in possession of stolen property.
Yeah, I suppose I should come up with a way to either use them and potentially get myself into a lot of trouble, or return them and potentially get a friend into a lot of trouble.
We're living on the edge. Choices we make define
So
who
we
we
are.
are.
Indeed.
Plus, you've got to live a little, have a little fun, break some rules.
Oh,
Make sure some certain dwarves die at the right time. I mean, what? We don't condone violence against the oppressors.
no, I don't suppose you do.
She hums a jaunty tune and she's been skipping ahead of you. So where to next?
Oh, would you like to join me?
I mean, I'm not giving you a choice.
That's fair. Okay.
Besides, if I follow you around, eventually I'll meet that tiefling, and annoying him is hilarious. He couldn't talk himself out of a wet paper bag if he tried.
I would imagine you're privy to the conversation that he had with the matron mother recently.
Yep.
Didn't sound like that went all that well. Or, well,
I mean,
I guess
it
as well
depends.
as it could have gone.
Yeah, I mean, literally. Chanced
Yeah.
it. It worked. She's really
Things
pissed
happen.
that that's the one time that she's actually had a prayer answered, and it was about that. She's like asking for help loads of times about particular things, and can I have him back, please? Boop, yep, there's a dead guy. She was like asking for how do I best lead my people? Nothing. How do I save my congregation from the oppressive dwarves and blah, 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 blah. And how do I expand the church? Blah, 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 boring, faithful, blah, blah, blah.
Nothing.
Nope, nothing.
Nothing.
Not even a commune. And then suddenly, can you please save Zanzyk? Bleh, he's vomited back out of the afterlife like yesterday's kebab.
Oh, yeah.
Kebabs are a gnome thing, right?
Yeah, that's a metaphor that I heard a sailor use once. Not entirely sure what it means. Anyway,
well,
it sounded disgusting.
yeah, it does. It does. Kitty, I'm going to have to ask you to stop chewing on that cord. You're going to hurt yourself. Oh, God. I hate animals.
What's your cat done now?
I may have just broken my charger. I'm upset. Okay.
Your cat just destroyed your phone charger.
No. The cat was just playing with it, so pulled the cord, and the little metal piece got stuck in the phone, and so now it's out of the charger completely.
Oh, fun. That's not an electrical hazard at all.
No. Fuck. All right. Well, let's meander a bit. Let's find something to do.
Cool, there's chaos to be had. She rubs her hands together, she's giving perfect, and we'll cut back to Blitz. Blitz, you set off at full tilt. You're clanking around like nobody's business. You make your way back down towards the tavern. You get to the door and you just see Chris pulling the door to, so the hinges. You see him bolting the hinges back in place, just like thunk, thunk. You run towards it. He's like, "Not my door, not again." This is the fourth one this week. Don't you dare! This opens sideways, not vertically.
I will slow down. Okay, right. A couple of things. I need to go to Zanzyk's room, and you need to get him a potion or something, or make him something that will sort of like perk him up, that won't knock him out because it's heavily laced alcohol. We need him awake. Can you do anything?
So what you're asking me for?
Mm-hmm. So let me in first.
Right. He opens the door to the tavern.
Okay.
So what you're asking for is for me to go and make him a beverage that'll both caffeinate and numb his pain senses.
Oh, I don't care about that. Just get him awake.
Don't care about pain. All right, fair enough. I mean, I do, but
if you can do something like that, that'd be even better.
Yeah. I'll have to put a warning on it. It may cause heart palpitations and should not be used in excessive quantities. They're not giving you twice as much as you should probably give him.
Right. Okay.
Because you might need a second dose. Yeah, I can get you into his room if you're looking after. What are you after? Like the medical kit or something?
Exactly. Something with a red cross.
Mm-hmm. I can go get that. I know where that is. You go park yourself in your booth. I'll go grab it for you. Do you want
Okie
the
dokie.
halfling who knows how to use it too?
Yeah, is she here?
He and yes.
He. Oh, is it the shit picker?
Yes.
Brilliant. Yeah. Oh my God, he's just been elevated in. He'll need a pay rise. Brilliant. Yeah. What's his name? I don't want to call him shit picker all the time.
Just call him Bucket Boy. That's what I do.
I know you do, but like, he's got to have a bit more of a name than that.
Let's just go Bucket Boy.
All right.
I mean, just go Bucket might be worth it as well. Bucket Head. I don't know.
Really, for someone that cares so much about other people, you give someone a really crap name. Bucket
All right,
Boy.
look. I'll go with the alliteration, okay? I was trying to see if you'd be able to get it because, you like your song and dance. His name is an alliteration. His first name is Brian. He's Brian the Bucket Boy.
All right, whatever. Let's just get him.
Is it Brain? I can never remember. His script is particularly poor. Look, sit your ass down.
I'm going to sit down.
Right. He prods off upstairs and comes back a couple minutes later carrying the box that Zant's described with the red cross on it. He pops it in front of you. He goes, right, I'm going to make a bevy. I'll put it in a takeaway cup for you.
And it's only supposed to have half of this and then half of this again.
Yeah, it's 2 doses in 1 takeaway cup. He's just like, do you see him move around? Like he picks.
Can we put it in a flask? Because I will spill it.
You need more. Look, it's in a sealed cup thing. It's like
Okay.
a twisty top. It has, it's got like a sippy bit, so you can't spill it. I generally keep it to give apple juice to the little orphans.
Okay.
I think they're calling it a sippy cup.
Okay, brilliant.
So, when you need to feed them, you just take the top off and just pour it down his mouth. It should be all right.
Excellent stuff. I can't wait to do that.
You see him, he goes around, he picks up one of the nicer whiskeys. He's like, yeah, that one, puts it to one side. He takes, you see him make a large thing of coffee. It's just espresso. It's just straight coffee. He pours it into a metal bowl, then pours a healthy measure of the whiskey, swings it together, takes some sugar. You see him go through spoons. He's like, no, not teaspoon, no, not tablespoon, serving spoon. Pulls out a salad spoon, just scoops it through the sugar bowl and just dumps it into the concoction, stirs it together, goes, right, okay, that is super disgusting, pops it over, he pulls out a Bunsen burner and just pops it on top on a stand, starts heating it through, stirring it as he goes. He starts adding some other bits and pieces. It looks to be his heated liqueur, licorice thing. He pours it in, keeps swirling it around. You see him sniff it, and it's ugh. Dips a small spoon into it, sips it. He goes, and snorts fire out of his nose. He's like, yep, that should do it.
Excellent stuff.
And now we add more. He picks up Zanzyk's favourite vodka, just to give it the flavour he likes, and pours good 3 or 4 shots in, and recorks it, stirs that together. You see smoke slowly coiling up out of the bowl as he then pours it into this sippy cup, this metal sippy cup thing with a little leather band around it. He's ties it off and he hands it to you.
Okay. Where's Bucket Boy?
He looks at the door. You hear it. You had to tell him. You had to go with the alliteration name, didn't you, boss? Chris is like, yep, I did indeed. Go ahead, Brian, you bucket boy. And the halfling sort of plods out with a bucket in one hand and mop in the other.
Today you are no longer Bucket Boy. For today you have grown into Medic Boy. Take this. We're going to call you...
And thank you very much. The alliteration is important to my mental health.
Oh, whatever.
You're
going to be I don't know, Bandage Boy. Let's go.
Oh, Bandage Boy, that works. I like that better. Does this mean I'm not going to get made to clean up all the poo again? Because that time with the angry drunk dwarves and
I'd rather not hear about this because we've got other things that are doing, more pressing on my mind. Although I imagine there's a lot of shit that's pressing on your mind. But this is real shit.
The nightmares are real. I went to a battle of the bands that one time, and
let's go. I'm just going to drag him along.
I saw things. Have you ever known when they're expending their breath weapons, a little bit of poo comes out of the dragon?
Right, no. This is something for you and me to talk about when I'm actually, composing.
He's like straight fingers running down his cheeks.
I'm just going to grab him and start putting him along.
Picks up the medic box. Not the bucket. I need the bucket too. He takes the bucket. He's dragging the box behind him on as you're pulling him along. Like it's too big for him to carry. It's got like a handle like a toolbox. You hear the scraping of the metal box. And he has like the bucket in his other hand. He's like, I've got the things I need. And Chris is like,
I
don't know why I hired this guy.
I'll take the medic box and lead him off. I'll take whatever is too heavy for him or too big for him.
He's holding the bucket and he's just you're dragging him along. He's like, I don't want to. Who am I fixing?
Zanzyk, the person that pays you.
Oh shit.
Mm.
He stops being dragged. He stands on and walks. Can I help Retsam too? I like him. He's nice.
He is awesome. So yes, you can help him. In fact, we could have some messages that you could send. You could walk up to him and tell him stuff. Because I
can certainly try.
Excellent stuff.
No one expects the guy who literally moves shit around.
No, that's excellent. I'm glad you brought your props with you as well. Let's go. Okay? And
it's my favourite bucket.
Yeah, your favourite tool?
No, that's why I keep you around.
Oh, that's pretty harsh.
I'm pretty sure you've heard worse.
I've heard worse. Not from the likes of you. Shit picker. Right, let's go.
Hey, that's Bandage Boy. Thank you very much. It's how I value my worth. It's how bad the acronyms I can get out of it. It's like this guy I knew. He was always obsessed with puns, and he had to make a pun in every situation, otherwise he wasn't happy with life. Claire's like, Ross, stop getting introspective in a D&D game. Like, what the fuck? I have to have the alliteration. It's my thing, man. It's my niche.
Okay.
I'm an artist.
I was going to say a piss artist. Let's go. A piss artist.
I tried that once. Someone called me a shit stain. He walks off. I worked in the sewers once, man.
I really don't care. I just don't want to hear it anymore. Let's go.
I was
you're starting to annoy me now, and I don't get annoyed with people talking shit.
I was on the ground, and this giant skeletal dragon thing just sort of fucking appeared out of the sewers, and then I was flying, and then I was falling, but I didn't have any wings, so I couldn't fall with style. I just sort of hit the ground.
Okay.
And then there was fire.
And poo. Should we go?
We are going. I can walk and talk.
Should we go faster?
I've only got little legs.
Well, you run, I'll walk fast.
Oh, you're rude. He sets off at the base. Where are we even going?
To the church.
There's lots of churches in this city.
Just go to the district. It's Goddard's one.
Who?
He gets a cuff.
Ow!
Follow
he has
me.
an actual god name. You're meant to be nice to these people. He's your god.
All right, he's God then. Go to God's one.
That's not how. Not fine. Fuck this. He heads off. Zanzyk, you're awoken next
I'm still
by Alice entering the room.
It's you.
Asked me to stay.
I did.
Can't really deny the last wishes of a dead guy now, can I?
I mean, I'm no longer dead, but you're still it.
Yeah. Technicalities.
Eh.
We have issues, more issues than we thought we did.
Oh.
Retsam's also being done for treason because allying with a red dragon.
Okay.
So that's heresy and treason. His sister's here though, and she might be able to do something to put the trial on hold until you're in a better state.
Oh.
I decided not to ask what that might be.
Wise.
Stone is going to be talking to her and seeing what he can do.
Who's Stone?
Oh, you weren't there. He's
I've been busy.
being a puddle, yeah.
It's hard work.
He is a friend of Retsam's sister, but was the guy that came to arrest Retsam. So.
Well, we knew that would happen.
Yeah. But the guy that hates Retsam might have possibly died at the
might
Battle
have
of
possibly
Barons.
did die.
Yeah, which
Okay.
is somewhat convenient because now the guy in charge of things doesn't hate Retsam, at least quite so much. I'm not quite sure where on the scale he is, but it's a good thing at least.
Who is trying him?
I've got no idea.
Okay, we need to find that out.
I probably should have asked his name. Didn't really think of that. I'll do it. I'll get it next time.
Fair. I mean, I'd go and ask myself, but...
I'm surprised you're conscious, to be fair.
Well, I'm conscious. I was really hoping this was a bad dream.
Suddenly
No.
the door slams open.
Blitz.
Bandage boy to the rescue!
Oh, there's a halfling. And a
Oh.
blitz.
Oh yes, I asked for you.
Yeah. Hi, boss.
The purple liquid.
He turns onto the box. You! Bandage butler. I need the medic box.
You piece of shit. I give him.
Alice is actually
Zanzyk
laughing.
smiles.
I give him the
See?
box.
The first thing to important medical care is
I
put
like
everyone in the
this.
right mood.
She looks at the halfling. I like you.
Yep. That's
You haven't
why
heard
won't
his
like me when you
stories
see my
yet.
normal job. Yeah, I met these guys by accident once. He points at Zanzyk and then points vaguely in the direction where Retsam might be. I was working in the sewers. Then an undead dragon blew them up. That was fun. It wasn't.
She just looks at
Good
Zanzyk.
times.
What the fuck is it with you guys and dragons? My god!
I know. It's supposed
There's
to be
several.
I was told they were extinct.
This is why
I
I'm
keep
here.
finding them.
Clearly.
I've got something for you, Zanzyk. You're supposed to only take half of this now, and then half of this when it stops working. So drink some of this.
What is it?
Chris made it. Apparently, it's got some of your favourite vodka in it, but it will make you feel better.
Okay.
Half.
Wait, what? Purple liquid first.
The halfling's looking at you, but it's waiting for you to open the box.
I'll look back at him.
He looks. Open the box then.
Open the goddamn box. This really hurts.
Look, I've just
That-
cleaned my hands. I can't touch the box.
I don't. When did you clean your hands? You've only just got in here.
He makes eye
You
contact
opened a
with
bloody door.
He makes eye contact with you and spits his hand and rubs them together. There you go. Cleaned them.
Fair enough. Open the box.
Not hygienic.
Welcome to Medieval Medicine 101, kids.
Yeah.
He cracks his knuckles. Perfect. He picks up a vial of lavender liquid rather than straight purple. He looks and goes, nope, this isn't it.
It's that one. That's purple.
He picks up, yes, so it is. I always get my lavenders, my purples, and my fuchsias confused. He walks over to Zanzyk, pops the cork out of the vial and pushes it towards your lips. Zanzyk, open up, buddy boss.
Zanzyk drinks it.
There's a low creaking noise from your ribcage. You guys, you get to watch the puddle gain some structure slowly as ribs begin to bolster slightly back into position.
I feel like Zanzyk screams like a girl.
The halfling just lifts up and just puts a pillow gently over your mouth, muffling the
Alice.
scream.
Is very much trying not to throw up as she watches Zanzyk's body be less of a puddle.
He's just like, yeah, this is one of the rare ones. There's only one of these, but it will mean he'll be able to put in a wheelchair. His legs take a little bit longer. I'll need some planks of wood and or the shafts from spears, or halberds or something.
A splint.
Yeah, I'm making splints. He pulls the pillow away. Zanzyk, you're no longer screaming in pain.
Mm-hmm.
You can give him the thing now.
It'll take a few days.
I'll pass
Zans.
the thing to you. What was that potion?
It has similar properties to regeneration, but it is
It's not cheap to make.
no.
I think we don't have any more of those.
I have the herbs needed, but they're still baby.
Yeah, they're going to take some time to mature.
Oh, okay then. So we can't
How
buy
do
another
I-
one?
No, this is like the bandage boy looks at you and goes, no, you can't just buy these things. This particular potion that Boss Zanzyk has just consumed was brewed by Nave Storm, who is like the progenitor of all this sort of...
I don't care. Right, let's go find some
It's a
splints.
revolutionary new field.
I tell you what, for someone that cleans up other people's shit, you don't have to talk shit. Let's go.
Look,
It's okay.
I'm allowed a hobby, and that's Dr. Bandage Boy to you, boy.
Can you just not be a dick to someone for 5 minutes? He's helping Zanzyk.
I wasn't.
You, Alice.
He was.
Right.
He.
Bandage Butler, I require splints. Go.
I presume I have my arms at least.
Nope.
Oh, come on.
Nope.
God damn it.
Your ribs are fixed, and your spine.
Do you know what? This is. We're going to fight to the pain. It's very Princess Bride right now. It's like just the head talking. Oh, this is great. Right. I'm going to try feeding you some of this drink, and then I'm going to go and see if I can steal some halberds.
I mean, I can help Zanzyk with a drink if you want to go find some splints.
Okay, you do that, and I'll go steal some stuff.
DM question.
What?
How badly?
If you're hovering over the spell, I think you're hovering over.
I
Don't
am.
do that. Whatever you pick, it's going to end fucking awfully for you. Sorry, to provide the listeners some context, Claire was about to ask me a question regarding the polymorph spell.
Oh, no.
And my response would be, your legs and arms are in pieces.
Yes. Polymorph would put them back.
No,
together.
it wouldn't.
Well,
It says nothing about healing. You turn into the
it would
animal.
put them in another form.
You turn into a snake. You suck your arms and legs to become more ribs. All of your ribs are broken for movement. You are then an unable to move snake.
I thought that would be it.
That. Unfortunately, that doesn't just magically heal injuries.
I mean, even if it did, when you polymorphed back out,
Yeah, it would be the
you
same.
would still be a puddle.
And then you wouldn't be in a comfortable bed. You'd probably be on the floor screaming in pain because of the
You would
pressures
have
in your
lost
ribs.
concentration.
The halfling is rummaging through the box. No, not potent enough. No, not acceptable.
I will take the drink off Blitz, and as he runs off, just ask for them, don't steal them, and then feed Zanzyk with the sippy cup.
I drink from the sippy cup.
Zanzyk. Roll me another con save, Zanzyk.
And I will make sure he only has half of it.
That is an 11.
You are suddenly compelled to sit up.
Nope.
He sits up. He is not in pain. His arms flop uselessly at his sides, but he is not in pain.
I'm going to actually try something though.
Zanzyk, your body is infused with the essence of pure caffeine, along with the pain-killing properties of an obscene amount of highly concentrated alcohol.
Well, since I can't feel this,
What are you going to try and do?
do I have enough movement in my arms?
If you're thinking of healing spirit, you can't. Your arms are in pieces.
Right, I have
Then I will
a
healing word.
I have a DM question.
Okay.
Could Zanzyk do the semantic components of a spell if Alice moved his arms for him?
You want to
They're
move the puddle
still moving.
fingers.
They are still moving.
If you wish to manipulate Zanzyk like some sort of barbaric twisted flesh puppet so that you could do the semantic components, I would allow it just for the comedic value.
Just my arms back.
What are you going to do, Zanzyk?
Um,
And more specifically, how are you going to communicate the required motions to Alice?
well, I've seen Alice cast it.
Yeah, But it doesn't mean you cast it the exact same way.
True. Can I healing word my one hand at least enough to do it?
Can I just
mean,
reiterate how
right,
broken bones work?
I would
You
like to
break
point
your
out...
like the top of your arm. You then can't use the rest of your arm. Your bone is you
That's
can.
not true, but
Right.
If you shatter the bone, you lose the
Shatty.
nerves. You
Claire.
were crushed against the ground by a fucking dragon.
Claire,
let's try.
Claire, you just said you've seen Alice cast the spell.
Yeah.
Just use
This is
that
true.
spell. Explain what spell you want and just pray it works.
I would like
Except don't pray because your god hates you at the moment.
healing spirit because it's the more druid side, but I presume I have to lose my extra healing.
Yeah. Your deity will deny you this for the moment.
Fair. And because I have the spell slots, even though I haven't given back myself, I will do it 5th level.
You're going to cast a 5th level healing word on yourself.
No, I'm going to cast a 5th level healing spirit.
Oh, healing spirit. Okay. You can then roll me a spellcasting modifier, a spellcasting ability check. You cast your wisdom.
15.
You cast with Alice's help.
Nice.
You have had your sense of pain significantly numbed in the last few seconds. This still hurts. Alice, it's horrifying for you because you're holding his hand, essentially.
Yep.
As you watch the bones in his arm stitch horribly back together, you feel it goes from puddle hand to actual bone and muscle hand as you're manipulating his fingers.
She's still very much trying not to throw up. She's doing all right at keeping it down at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Sans, you now have one functional limb.
I'm just going to give myself back some healing here. Because I can do this a few times. And I pulled off all my modifiers. Apparently.
You can then roll me a concentration check.
14.
You just about maintain it. Your leg begins to shift back together.
Wow.
This becomes incredibly more painful. Roll me another concentration check.
16.
You maintain the spell.
And I'm trying to do maths.
Another concentration check, please.
I haven't rolled the next set of things yet. There's many clicks to be had. And now I can't cast at high levels.
So you have to cast it, okay?
Because I think it's recasting using my spell slots. There we go. Come on. Wow.
In the check. Also, yes, you can't see clearly against that background. You actually lose concentration at that point. You have both your arms and one of your legs back. You are very, very aware that if you hadn't have had this Chris's concoction running through your system, that would have been much, much more agonizingly painful.
Oh, give me more of that.
And you very much get the impression, A, from how you now feel, which is queasy, A, that stuff's probably not good for you in any more higher doses, and B, you very much get the impression as the nature magic rolled through you, it did not have the harmonious effect with the divine magic you normally utilize.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost as if the divine was not impressed that you were using the natural to bypass the need for healing.
I understand if it needs a must. He must, as he doesn't really say it out loud. No,
and at that moment, we'll cut back to Xantis. Yes. So, as you and Amara are essentially walking through town, Amara pauses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need to go.
Okay. What's wrong?
Just some orphan stuff. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
She smiles at you. Don't worry, no one's gonna die. Yet.
That's always good. That's always good. That's usually good.
It might just be a mugging or pickpocketing, something fun like that.
The less I know, the better. I'll see you later.
Plausible deniability. She skips off.
Plausible deniability. Okay, well, In that case, I need to go back to the temple.
Okay.
So I will head in that direction.
So you head back up to the temple. As you enter, it's normal, sort of relatively quiet self, and there are guards by the side doors. Obviously, like they've been obliged to protect it, prevent trespassing at this point. You see the door to where Zanzyk's area is, and just as you get sort of rock up, Blitz is walking out of Zanzyk's room.
How's he doing?
He's great. He's talking.
Do you mean like he's
got a chest now?
What?
He's got a chest.
What do you mean?
Everything else is floppy. It looks like a jellyfish. Right, go have a look.
Okay.
I've got to go find pieces of wood.
Okay, and I'm gonna stroll past Blitz and into the room.
You enter the room just in time to see Alice manipulating Zanzyk's floppy hand to cast magic.
What are you doing?
And then you
Don't
watch
ask.
as Zanzyk's body his limbs begin to pull back together. It's horrifying.
As the first hand kind of reforms, I will drop it and let him move his own limbs.
You essentially watch as what was once essentially the puddle of Zanzyk begins to reconstitute itself in horrible, grim fashion.
Alice is looking extremely pale and trying not to throw up.
Bar one
Can't
leg.
imagine why.
So is Zanzyk.
One leg is still floppy. Blitz.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So is Zanzyk.
You are stood in the hallway. You've just said hello to Azantis, and you see rows upon rows of suits of armor down either side of this hallway, each one holding a halberd.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I know where the training room is, so I'm going to go down there and see if I can get the wooden swords.
As you head back out into the main hall to head in that direction, you note the fact that area is currently being quite heavily guarded by armed guards.
I'm a paladin in this church. Fuck 'em.
The guards sort of look at you as you approach, and just very carefully the weapons that they're wielding just cross in front of your path. In that sort of very typical, no, not going any further right now sort of gesture.
I need some wooden weapons.
Then
Training
we will
weapons.
retrieve them. What kind of weapons do you require?
I think swords.
How many would you like?
8.
8. Okay.
Oh, and a shield.
And a shield.
Yes.
You
5
have-
shields.
Roll me a persuasion check.
You're probably going to wonder what's going through my head. But
Probably. I always wonder what's going through your head.
I try not to.
it's persuasion.
He looks at you and says no further, and then he opens the door and slips downstairs. Coming back a little while later with essentially a bundle of swords wrapped up in some rope and this set of shields tied to them as well. Hands it to you.
Excellent. Thank you ever so much. And I'll take them off.
Not a problem.
I had a whole asterisk thing go through my head with Greater Ix being carried on shield. So, and that being Zanzyk. And then I thought, why don't we just put the swords in between and then we could make wheels and like make our own chariot for him. That was my idea that just started speaking off. Anyway, great. I'll take the stuff into the room.
Okay. The party bar Retsam reconvene in Zanzyk's hospital room. Blitz, as you walk in, you're very much now distinctly aware that Zanzyk has functional limbs bar one leg. Bandage boy is just like do as he's putting out bandage, like he's got like 3 huge reams of bandages like on the bedside.
That's Dr. Bandage Boy to you.
Yeah, that's Dr. Bandage Boy. He's pulled out like a white coat out of the like a white essentially like a blanket, but he pulls it over his shoulders like a coat. And he has some like medical scissors. He's like, cut the bandage this long, use it for the wrap for around the splint. Then you cut this piece of cloth to this length exactly to do the same. He's saying to
I'm
himself
just going
as
to
he
throw
goes
it
along.
all on the floor.
It's very clear
Okay.
this halfling has learnt the pamphlet that Zanzyk has added by turning it into some sort of interpretive song and dance.
Okay, I'm got to do something.
Oh, you brought the splints. Nice.
Yeah, bye.
He takes 2 of the swords straight away. Yoink. Now, Boss Zanzyk, this is going to suck.
I mean, I have that covered.
Okay, just first, because I've wanted to experiment.
I hand Zanzyk the rest of the cup.
I think he would turn it down.
Okay.
There are some trials you just have to endure.
She nods.
It's time to build a splint. Zanzyk, you feel this halfling very carefully begin to manipulate your essentially almost boneless leg. It hurts a lot. But he builds you a splint and then very carefully wraps the 2 blades of wooden practice swords around your leg, giving you a surprisingly good support onto your still damaged foot.
Is it possible to gears myself?
No.
Shame.
Self-deception is already something that can be done.
Not consciously, anyway.
I don't know, talk to Blitz long enough, you might think opposite. Right. I did it. I did the splint. I mean,
Well done.
it's good.
That's how it's supposed to look as well. Good.
See, I read the manuals. I did as I was told.
Uh-huh.
I'm now Dr. Bandage Boy.
Did you move those plants to my room, from my room to the other building as I asked?
What?
The other day?
Yeah. Sorry, my short-term memory doesn't last that long.
That's what concerns me.
I remembered the manuals, though, because I turned them into a nice dance. Would you like to see the dance?
No, I'm good.
Oh.
I believe you.
Oh. No one wants to see my medicine dance. It kicks the floor.
Maybe you could teach it to Blitz one day.
Yes.
He looks you dead in the eye and goes, there's some lost causes even I don't want to take up.
And did you start cleaning the other building?
Yes, I've cleared the first couple of floors.
Good job. You've done better than I thought.
Yeah, well, it's easier than cleaning up Retsam shit.
See, I told you I'd take care of you.
Beer-only diet's a little good for your digestive system.
I keep telling him he needs to start eating vegan.
Don't get me started, vegan grumbles.
Okay.
Anyway, I think Dr. Bandage Boy is done here.
Yes.
He begins packing up the box again. He looks at you.
He goes back in my room.
He looks at you, Blitz. Bandage Butler. And you just close the box now, please.
No, you finish. You can do what you need to do now. Then you can wash the box afterwards. And believe me, I'm going to be giving Retsam, as soon as we get him out of here, the worst beer ever, and you'll be clearing it up.
Actually, I'm stealing him.
And Zance thanks you for your time. I'm joking. I won't be so mean.
Oh, good. Right.
Dr. Bandage Boy will remember this. He closes the box, hoists it up over his shoulder because it's too big for him and starts plodding away. You'll rue this day, Blitz, as he leaves.
I don't understand. Some people you hang out with, Zanzyk, I really just don't understand what you do.
Oh, Bandage Boy comes back in. I've got a better idea. He dumps the box back on the floor, kicking it open and shoving the thing back in. He picks up his shit bucket.
Careful.
Look, I
I
wrapped them up careful. Look, does anybody have any messages they want to pass to the guy? Because look, no one ever investigates the guy who's going to be picking
What
shit.
guy?
Retsam.
Oh.
I totally forgot about that.
Because no one
He
investigates
isn't
the
this.
guy with shit.
Right, okay.
Alice just kind of looks to Zanzyk.
Has anyone seen the guy that arrested him?
Yeah?
Oh, where is he?
Well, I was talking to him out there, in the main bit.
Ross, I'm assuming that's the main area of the temple?
Yes, the main act being like the prayer hall with, the altar, the holy
Ross,
symbol.
translation! I'm sorry. Okay.
I'll translate Beth into human. Don't worry.
Yeah, there you go.
No, you're not translating Beth, you're translating Alice.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that's
Let's
passive
do that.
carryover proficiency from understanding Beth.
Sub-language Beth. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Why?
I may have come across something that he might find interesting.
Such as...
He dropped something and I need to return it to him.
Oh. Well, he was just out there.
Okay.
He's
I'll...
going to find Retsam.
I'm gonna look at I'm trying to concentrate and all I can see is Silent trying to stroke the demon in the background.
Podcast.
Very distracting.
You may take that the wrong way. Silent has a demon picture.
He has the
Behind
background
him.
image from one of the original D&D books. He has the cover up on his his active desk background for his Zoom call, and he's just been reaching up and just using his hand, just trying to stroke the demon's face
For like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, it is a might.
Hey, it hasn't been 10 minutes, and that's not actually what I'm doing, because if I hold my hand in the right spot, you can see the mark of Gond behind it.
The Gondian demon.
No, you're
Yeah.
just stroking the demon.
Oh, that
You
sounds
believe whatever
wrong.
you want to
That
believe.
sounds so wrong.
That was the
That's
point.
why I explained
Some
it.
of us chase the dragon, some of us stroke the demon.
It's fine.
At least it's not a purple demon. You got that going for
God,
you,
we're
right?
adult.
Thank God for the magic of
This
editing.
is an
Yeah, at least he
18
wasn't
plus
fisting the
stream,
demon.
18 plus podcast, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Chase
It
the
has to be
dragon,
now.
stroke the demon, drain the lizard, whatever.
I probably should have asked that before I made a character that swears a lot.
Should I answer to that? Fuck it.
I mean, Beth, to be fair, you're pretty safe because you knew us.
This is true.
Whenever you join a podcast and there's British people doing the majority of the talking, it's going to be swear heavy and not for the faint of heart.
Yes.
I mean, in fairness, shit is a multi-use word.
It
This.
is an actual thing.
This
that
is
you
good
can
We
shit.
spent
script
20
it.
minutes talking about.
Yes.
Talked about his way. This is actually some really good shit. You have great suggestions.
What the shitting shit is this shit?
Oh, shit up.
Right, okay, we need to stop now.
The
She could get in trouble.
for those listening, the one American in this shit is very
Confused.
amused.
And didn't say shit.
Very amused.
Amused and possibly at times rather confused at some of the shit we talk about.
Yes.
Yeah. It's some confusing shit. What are you gonna do?
So,
Xanthus is gonna walk out and look for Stone before any of this shit goes any more sideways.
you head out of the room and into the main hall. Unfortunately, you don't see any dwarves at this time.
Mm-hmm.
You would have noticed when you walked in and came through the hall to get to Zanzyk's room, there were no dwarves present either. Unfortunately, it looks like Alice saw Stone and spoke to him, and he departed the area prior to your arrival.
Do I see any of the Dragonborn paladins standing around?
You do. Most of them are guarding side doors and are armored and armed.
Right. I'm gonna wave a couple of them down and approach because I'm not being subtle.
They're all by doors. You'd have to approach them.
Yeah.
very
That's what I'm
rarely
saying.
leave
Be
their
like,
post.
hi, and then walk over just to let them know I'm not trying to do anything sneaky and or subtle.
Greetings, cleric. How can we help you today?
Did you see a dwarf go by here a few minutes ago about yay high, like way taller than me? Goes by Stone.
Literally hosting 2 battalions. Of
I
dwarves.
understand. That's why I'm describing them. They go by Stone.
Yes.
They were here a little
Came
bit
past
ago. Do you know where
Yes.
he went?
Downstairs.
I suppose I can't go talk to him, can I?
You're very correct in that assumption.
Okay. Well, if you do happen to catch him,
We'll send him to talk to you just like we did Alice barely an hour ago.
oh, so I didn't miss him by very much. Just let him know he's dropped something and he may very well want them back.
Right. Okay, we'll be suspiciously cryptic to him as well.
I mean, you could just tell him that. You
Yes.
don't have to encrypt it anymore.
I mean, thank you for acknowledging that it was cryptic. So we'll know that's double meaning there, but we'll let him know.
Right. Okay. I'll.
Look, we'll let him know. It's been a long shift. Right? I've had dwarves trying to talk to me. I've had halflings try to talk to me. I've had some weird human try and talk to me.
Weird human.
Yeah. Ow, says one as the other punches him. Just stop. Just shut up now. But I like
Listen, I
talking.
know he's annoying, but his name is Blitz, okay? He's not weird.
No, not him. We know he's a tiefling. We're not that bad, unlike him, who said we look the same. These are two very different coloration dragonborn.
Yeah, I think he's I think he's a little bit short on the social
irony.
interactions. Okay, well,
you just need social there. I think he's just short on interactions.
I mean, I'll give you that.
Anyway, he's
Yeah,
done
okay.
a good job, and our god seems to think he's interesting enough to listen to a pledge made by him. So we've got to give him some credit, I suppose. Plus, he
That's
survived hanging out with Zanzyk for long enough, and so Retsam. Oh, sorry, I mean Arch Heretic Retsam. The dwarves get angry if we call him so.
Arch heretic. That sounds a little higher than just heretic.
Yeah, unfortunately, dwarves don't rank things based on height. They base it on intent.
So wait, is it not just heresy?
Oh, it's
Is it-
heresy.
Yeah.
But because he's trying to head up a church, they refer to him as an arch heretic because he's the leader of a subculture. Look, I don't have time to explain religious doctrine to you.
I get it.
Plus, some of these dwarves, they love being so dramatic. They're almost as bad as bards, a lot of them.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that.
Bards have been bad news the last couple of years. Apart from
Noted.
that Filch guy, he was all right.
Filch is very nice. He's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go do something else now. Thank you.
No problem.
Walks away.
Bye. You see the dragonborn waving.
Really nice gentleman. Walks back into she mutters to herself as she walks back into Zan's room.
Alice, can I have one of your arrows?
Excuse me? What the fuck?
I need an arrow from Alice.
Oh.
What did you think I said? Have you got an arrow?
I'm not sure
Have you ever
why.
seen me hold a bow?
Why?
I don't know. I didn't see you with wings before, and now you have them.
I mean, I'll give you that, but most of the bows I've ever seen here in this city are bigger than me.
Okay, I only need an arrow. What
why?
I'm thinking. Well, we're going to send Dr. Bandage here to.
No, I'm just Bucket Boy now. The uniform
Oh,
changed.
Okay, right. Oh, you are a master of disguise. I get it. Right. So basically, we'll break the
I'm a
arrowhead
superhero.
off,
But less spandex.
and then we can stick it into his bucket or under the bucket. And when he goes in to deal with Retsam shit, he can give him at least something that he can use to cut his binds or whatever he's got down there. Something sharp.
You won't take
No.
it.
Huh?
No.
Red Sam won't take it.
Ah,
You know him.
I do
He's
know him.
honorable to a fault.
We have to do this the right way, or there's no point doing it.
Yes.
We're not gonna get him out of trouble by breaking the law ourselves. If we have been told we can't go down there, which we have, then we don't go down there. We play this out properly.
Zanzyk is staring pointedly Blitz. Heaven forbid we'd have to go for another walk.
Yeah, okay. Can we get him some pencils then? Or charcoal?
No.
Bucket Boy nudges you in the side, Blitz, like in the leg.
Okay.
You've just got told.
Fucking slap him.
We should still
Give a
send
shit.
Retsam a message.
This is like everyone's picking on me. Right, I do want to let Retsam know that we are here.
Retsam
Tell him that we are here.
knows. Do you really think he's going to expect us to just abandon him?
Yes.
Why don't, says Bucket Boy, you just tell me what you want him to know, and I will just fucking walk into his cell room going, I'm here to collect the shit in a bucket, and they'll let me in, and I'll just talk to him. How about that?
Okay.
Why don't you just, I like to keep the methodology, I like to call it the KISS methodology, keep it simple, stupid.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
let him know.
Keep it short and sweet.
Look, just because I'm a halfling, it's mean to make a height joke.
Right. So let him know that we are all here. Zanzyk is awake and is now almost fully.
Just tell him as well.
Yeah, is able to defend him now.
Okay. Bye. I'll let him know.
I wouldn't go that far. You do realize you are all considered adults and I am not, right?
Huh?
You're all considered adults.
I am.
He looks at Alice and Azantis as well.
I mean, barely.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, not you?
I might be first boy, but I'm not an adult. Not in my culture.
Oh. All right.
You've been letting the kid die, as the Bucket Boy says as he skips out of the room.
I'm not sure how I feel about this anymore.
What I hear.
I'm going to turn around and say that's because it's reckless youth.
Oh, well, yeah, that's one way to think about it.
What excuse do you have as he just gets out of audible range?
Just go tell him.
I'm already going. Okay, bye.
Hey, bye.
There's a... so we'll cut to Retsam. Retsam, there's a couple of moments. You have like an hour where you doze lightly. The light doesn't change. And then you hear, footsteps, here, there, and everywhere. From the hummingbird. And then you hear, bring out your shit. I'm here to collect the shit in a bucket, shit in a bucket, shit in a bucket.
Do I recognize Brian's voice?
You do. I'm here to collect the shit, Mr. Guard Dwarf. I need to go in there to collect the bucket. Don't want it to stink up the place, do you? The dwarf is just looking at it like you don't hear anything from the dwarf. He's like, why would I? He's like, look, I've got a bucket of it. Oh, don't put that in my face. You'll let me in so I can collect the rest of it so it gets out of here. Because, there's no internal plumbing down here. It's awful. What's internal? Look, don't ask me what internal plumbing is because it's an invention that'll be coming your way pretty soon once they can market it. Now, actually, I don't want them to market it. Put me out of a job. Anyway, open the door, let me in, and I'll just deal with it. There's a little, you hear like a low toot, and the guy goes, "Oh, on guard change anyway. Sure, why not?" Unlocks the door, and you just hear, "Nice." As Brian, the bucket boy, walks into the room. He holds up a finger to suggest you to be quiet for a second. Oh, hello, sir. Didn't know you were in here. Just here to collect the shit. Walks over. You see the door closes behind him. It relocks. Just knock when you'll be let out. Right you are. You hear the dwarf guard walk away and be replaced a few moments later. Right, so, he says as he's ruffling the bucket around, making some noise. The gang says hi.
Well, that's jolly decent of them, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Boss Zanzyk is alive. He's not quite as two-dimensional as he was before. He's less of a puddle now, more of a mostly reconstituted individual. That's a long couple of words. I like them. You make some more clanky noises. Yeah. They're here. They're going to try and help. shit, I forgot what they were going to say. No, I think about it summarizes it. They're here, they're going to help. They're preparing for your trial and trying to delay it while Zanzyk gets better. Do you want to send any messages back?
I don't know how feasible a delay is going to be.
Well, they said they left that in the hands of your sister, so... And was it Pebble? No, it was Stone. It wasn't Pebble, it was Stone, wasn't it?
I have indication, or I have a feeling
That tonight
turning
good night.
within that there may be complications afoot.
Ah. Oh. That sounds complicated.
Yes.
I can't stick around long, otherwise they'll get suspicious.
One of the guards may have slipped my brother's name, and as much as my sister might care for me, my twin brother does not. I am loath to speak
twin?
of Bodacious Brian the Bucket Boy. I am loath to
Another
speak
B.
of my...
Perfect. I always was the best loser.
I am loath to speak of my twin, for we do not see eye to eye. He's short, he's got an inferiority complex, you know how it is.
Why does that sound familiar?
We don't see eye to eye.
Yeah. Which one of you is the evil twin? It's you, isn't it?
Well, it depends who you ask. He's the spiteful twin, I'm the heretic twin. So, apples and oranges?
I mean, you could say generally the two apples from the tree that sort of fell at the same time sort of fell in the same place as well, didn't they, really?
I mean, I'd like to think that my journey has put more good into the world than evil. I can't say the same for my brother.
Isn't good entirely subjective?
If you want to bring everything down to that level, then surely.
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't really have time for a theological, philosophical debate right now. I gotta. He holds up the bucket. I gotta go and clean up some shit.
Well, yes. Just tell them that that delaying trial may not be an option, and if they can't do anything, it's just the way that things go.
Okay, boss. I will relay the message. I will do my best to remember that. Unfortunately, my short-term memory isn't what it used to be. Something about inhaling fumes.
Yes. You know that's actually called Gencom?
No.
Yeah.
I thought Gen Con was some sort of conventions and people did in another continent.
No, Gencom.
Oh. No, I don't get it.
You get high on fermented fecal matter. Be careful, Brian.
Oh. That would explain so much about my younger years. Anyway.
And the hallucinations.
We don't talk about the guy in the corner. The one with the many arms. Anyway, I'll see you soon, boss.
Be well, Brian.
I don't know.
Be best, Brian.
I'll be my best. I'll be the best bodacious Brian Bucket Boy you've ever seen. I'll be the best loser in the world. He walks toward the door and knocks on it. I'm a poo collector. He's been let out, please. There's a opening of the door. Oh, all right. Yeah, you are in here, aren't you? Cool. Off you go. You recognise Stone. He nods at you, Retsam.
I nod back.
There's a quiet moment where he leaves the door open after the guy's entered, and another figure slips into the room, almost like they've got a hood up. They're moving very much as much in the shadow as they can do as they enter the room. The door is left ever so slightly ajar, so from almost every other angle, bar the one you were at, it looks closed. And that's how we'll cut for a moment. For the rest of the party, Brian reappears in the room a good 15-20 minutes later. Hi guys, I'm back. He holds up the bucket. It's full of shit.
Okay.
I druidcraft the smell of roses under my face.
You'd be surprised how much temples are full of shit. Oh, sorry for any religiously inclined. He nods.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Poorly timed joke. Anyway, Retsam says hi. Shit. He says something making a high on fumes. Specifically poo fumes. That was funny. Made me laugh. It's called Gencom or something. I don't know. Maybe Gencon. I can't remember.
And
Oh, poop. Oh, he said something about delaying maybe not being possible.
Any reason why?
Something about an evil twin.
Jetsam.
Something like that.
Shit. Zanzyk sits up straight and shuffles.
I forgot. Oh, he said don't feel bad if it has to play out the way it does. And you can't help
That
him.
boy's so full of shit. Not you, Brian.
No, I'm definitely not full of shit. It's all in this bucket. I had to get shit from somewhere to make it look convincing.
I need one of the gods.
Well, I mean...
I'm just generally looking around at people, because, I mean... I'm not sure I'm really up to storming myself. So they'll have to come here so I can be indignant.
Alice will...
Okay. You're faster than me, Alice. You get them.
Yeah,
Oh,
but Alice
okay.
can't fly.
Huh?
She might be fast, but she can't fly.
How's
Okay.
that relevant?
I can fly. Flying is better than running.
Said the lazy man. So, Alice, you're going to try and collect a guard. Blitz, who's going to attempt to collect a guard?
Oh, me, then, if
I
we
did
like.
say yes.
Oh, okay. I
didn't
didn't hear you.
she couldn't
quiet.
hear you, Beth.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Okay. Alice, you head out to the main room. There are guards pretty much at every side door.
Is there one she recognises at all that she's seen the others communicating with? Or, I
There's the
don't know.
one you spoke to earlier.
That works. We'll go over. Zanzyk wishes to speak to one of you. Guards.
Why?
I don't know, he just asked me if I could go and fetch one.
Oh, God
Please.
damn it. Just before the shift was over too, he picks up his halberd. Right.
And
Okay. He looks at his compatriot. I'll get one of the fresh shift to swap with you early. Okay, bye. Lead the way.
and I will lead the way back to Zanzyk's room.
When Alice returns, party members, she's accompanied by a rather large, slightly lithe, but still wearing plate armor Dragonborn. Like almost like, I'm trying to think how to describe that, like ash-coloured scales. It's like off-white. You summoned a guard.
I did.
Hello, I am a guard.
Do you
Sorry,
have a
I didn't
name?
get your name earlier.
That's right. Oh, you want my name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the DM cringes.
Immediately goes
You've
to
literally had
transcendent
24
generator.
hours.
Look, I have literally had one hell of a day, and I did have this guy's name, and I fucking forgot it. as soon
Do
as you guys asked for it.
fantasynamegenerators.com.
Yeah, it's like you don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I use
Unsponsored
it
content.
myself.
I think every DM uses fantasy name generator.
Yeah.
No.
No. Oh my god.
He
Six
looks at you and just goes, "I'm Rezok."
Pleasure to
Retsam?
meet you, and thank you
Hello.
for helping me earlier.
No
You
problem.
dislike me very much.
I really don't think you're going to really want to level your anger at entirely the wrong faith.
Oh, I'm not. I just have lots of things that I need. You keep a list of every single dwarf that enters here that is past their regiment, correct?
We have the original attendee list.
Mm-hmm. Has anyone joined since?
No.
Can I see it?
No.
Why not?
Because you're not allowed to that information, because it's privileged information.
Then I would speak to the head.
Okay. You want
I
to talk
need
to the
to
head
know
of the
if my name is
church?
on that list.
You want to talk to the head of the church?
Yes.
He points at the holy symbol over the door.
I could use his name, but I don't think he would like that.
I mean, he points at the head over the door. That's the head of the church.
Do not be smart with me. I am in a lot of pain.
I'm really fucking tired.
Get on my level.
I can't. I'm not allowed to shrink.
I would like...
I'd say be the bigger
to
man,
speak
but that's not going to work.
to Paladin Rageblood.
Oh, you're going to make me go and
Now.
wake him up?
Yes.
God
You could have
damn
just
it.
answered my simple question.
I did, with the simple response that I'm obliged to give as per due process.
Uh-huh.
It literally
I
says,
just want
if
to know
demand
if there's
someone...
a Jetsam in their number.
He opens a book and literally goes, look, page 65. If someone, being
Not
a dick,
interested in that
says, I want to talk to the head of the church, he points at the nearest holy symbol. So I did. He closes the book. Bear in mind, this was written by the god.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his
And
son.
he won't mind
actually,
if I
but-
burn it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he will.
So it is their god, not mine. Mine's already pissed at me. So please, let's not test me today. Is there a Jetsam in their number?
I'm
And I
not
will save you
allowed.
from...
I'm not allowed to. I'm literally not allowed to answer that question.
Then go get me your Rageblood. Find me someone who can.
Fuck. There goes my fucking pay rise this year. It turns out and plods away.
Could have answered the question.
Did answer the question.
I'm...
A couple of minutes pass, the door is just pushed open by essentially Paladin Rageblood. He's wearing, like, you very much get the impression he's just rolled out of bed.
Zanzyk will nod politely to him.
What?
Gesture to a seat.
No.
I need to know if there is a Jetsam here.
Okay. I can't answer that question.
You can, because it is dependent on my friend's life. Someone who is
You
in your church,
misunderstand me.
in your
I'm
care.
literally incapable of answering that question. Let me reiterate this. If I answer that question, I cause an international diplomatic incident.
So that's a yes.
I'm not answering your question because I can't, because of politics. If you wish to interpret my answer in a particular way, be my fucking guest.
I do. Then there is something you should know.
If you're about to threaten me in any way, shape, or form, may I remind you
No.
who I am, and the fact you've just used my name in front of a lot of people I'd really rather you hadn't had.
If you'd have answered my question, it wouldn't have been an issue.
He answered your question in the way that he is meant to, in line with practices.
Either way, look, I'm in a lot of pain. I'm really not interested in arguing with you. If there is a Jetsam here, Retsam, who is in your care,
He's not in my care.
he is a prisoner in your church.
And he is in a wing of the church that is
your
currently under...
care.
He is currently in a wing of the church that is under the rule of the faithful of God.
That be me as that may, but it is your church.
Technically, at this moment, it is not. It is technically classified as international, soil control
That is
by a
not what
foreign
people will
nation.
think, and you know it. It
Unfortunately,
is your church.
they can continue to think what the fuck they like. That is the fact of the matter. If you wish to continue to argue,
is
if you wish to
your
continue to
church.
argue with me,
Retsam is in danger in your church.
he is in no danger. He is a prisoner, and he is not in my church.
He is in your church.
He
This
is
your
not.
church.
He is not in my church. He is in an area of the church that is currently dedicated to the faithful of God.
No,
Yes,
it is something you led them.
it is something that they currently possess for the duration of their visit. A visit, mind you, if you hadn't brought a dragon to the city, would have been over by now.
I can appreciate that. No one wants that more than us.
No, and no one really wants the dwarves hanging out any longer than necessary because they're causing me a fucking pain in the neck.
So help me get rid of them.
I'm trying to. You're being obstinate and irritating about it.
I think you underestimate how much pain I'm actually in.
I think you underestimate how much of a diplomatic incident this will cause if you continue to push me. I have answered your question without answering your question because I'm not allowed to answer your question.
Being that they were charging, I would prefer if he was under your care, not theirs.
Unfortunately, that's not how religious trials work.
Actually, I did some research on this. As the head church in this city, it is within your right to dictate how this runs. Not theirs,
Unfortunately,
yours.
that's not the
You
case.
You can choose to let them run it their way, or you can choose to ask them to make some concessions.
Okay, let me reiterate this for you. Don't you think I'd already considered the fact that I could ask for concessions? Don't you think your friend's only been given the right to a trial because of those concessions? Do you not think that I have tried to assist you from the background without directly involving the royal house of this country considerably recently? Do you not think I expended a significant amount of my own resources to try and bring you back to life recently? Do you wish to continue pushing me?
No, no one actually told me that.
I don't care if they didn't tell you that that's on them. Do you wish to continue pushing me?
I'm not pushing you. I'm
You are pushing
asking
me.
you to safeguard him.
And I have done so. He still breathes because of my effort.
Yes, but if his brother is here, it is not for long.
He has a trial, one that is being observed. What do you think we are running guards workplaces? The only position they can place guards is in front of that cell. Every other guard is mine. I have done my utmost already to protect your friend. Do not push me for more.
I need to see him.
That is not going to happen.
Actually, he has the right to see his council. It is written in the laws.
It's written on the laws of this land. Need to remind you, technically it's classified as foreign soil for the duration of their stay. Would you like to know why?
That is ridiculous.
It is not, because it's the halls they currently reside in, also the homes to several very powerful foreign heads of clan, or heirs to heads of clan, technically.
Wait, which clans?
Which clans?
Yes.
Sorry, did you not? You haven't really been paying attention. The one who died.
Mm-hmm.
He was a cousin of one of these individuals.
Oops.
Yes.
I mean,
so
we didn't kill him.
No, but they very much put in the fact that there was also a red dragon present, and they still wound up dead.
Yeah.
Can I reiterate the amount of political capital I have personally expended to keep your friend alive long enough to have a trial?
Yeah. I need to work that out.
I'm not identifying these clans because you got after them.
I'm not going to go after them. I'm looking for an ally.
And you're not going to find any of them from Rockhall. Your friend's brother has influence.
Yeah, my friend's brother has influences here.
Mm-hmm. Your friend's sister, surprisingly, considering what I'm aware of, has expending her own resources in very, very different ways to what I think the churches are expecting. So now, I reiterate, because we've been talking over and essentially raising our voices against each other, do you wish to push me any further, or have you gained the information you require?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do not push me again. Your friends and you already owe me for the materials expended in trying to save your life.
I'll name a wing in the hospital after you. First name. Of
He shakes his head.
Zanzyk sits back a bit. Like, clearly he's in pain.
And for the record, I hope you heal well. Also, do not assume that you know everything based on some reading and what you are aware of. There is always more to the situation, especially when politics is concerned.
Yes, but I'm not particularly interested in politics.
No, but you'll find your lack of interest will get you killed.
Oh, good.
From what I understood, Drow were aware of the kill or be killed nature of politics, be it in a literal or metaphorical sense.
You should, know. Your god risked my god's ire at your request.
I know, and I'm still paying for that.
I think.
Because I got a really pissed off sending from, the head of the church. Not him, the other head of the church, the head of the church on the material plane.
Well.
So, worst case scenario, pray your friend lasts another week.
Zanzyk's just.
Have you ever heard of divine retribution? Because it's not something paladins dish out.
My god is fierce, but she does not stay mad for long. Redemption is.
But Custodes source, but Goddard had the impatience and the anger of a pissed drunk with a vendetta issue.
He wasn't all that bad.
I think after that comment, Xantis is probably like hanging out by the door, but she's like, maybe I should go.
The paladin, this dragonborn is a paladin of this faith, of your faith.
Yeah.
He turns on his heel and just walks away. He walks out of the room. Doesn't quite slam the door behind him, but he closes it quite harshly.
We need to send him a bacon basket. I kind of lay back down.
I think that went really well.
I think he gave us what we needed.
He gave us loads.
What exactly did we need?
We needed to know if Retsam was actually here.
Who's Retsam?
Hey.
Yes, Brian.
And not only did I add the bucket in the duration of that encounter, but he left something. He holds up a bit of paper, like a piece of parchment.
I'm going to go take it.
Yeah.
You're going to go take the piece of paper. What does it say?
It says Retsam -yes.
Zanzyk to Brian.
It also then puts in brackets, though in secret, we are not meant to be aware of this.
Zanzyk will look to Brian. No offense, Brian, but please take that out of here.
What, the shit bucket?
My stomach's rolling as already.
Oh. Okay, he waddles over to the window, opens it, and just tosses the bucket out the window.
Oh my god.
I know nothing.
I'm gonna hand Xanth the slip of paper.
Do you read Draconic, Xanthus?
Yes.
There is a significantly more scripture in very hastily written Draconic.
Never mind. What does it say?
Ow,
cat!
It says that. Ow, cats. No.
Yeah.
It answers some other questions. It does indicate. It basically lists the things that have that the Dragonborn has essentially helped avoid in Retsam's case.
Okay.
It says attempt at instant execution avoided. It has lists like that, things that they could have done based on their belief. That, and it lists which bits of Primorian law the guy has quoted, the Dragonborn has used to wheedle around it. It then lists at the bottom in Draconic. It just says Thalia aware.
I've never heard that name, have I?
That might ring a bell to you because you're from Primor, and it might well ring a bell to Zanzyk.
Zanzyk's man.
You can roll me a history check, Xanthus.
15.
You had the name Rageblood.
Yeah.
Rageblood is the clan name of the royal house. Thalia is the name of the head of the house, the current monarch of Primor.
This wasn't the individual I met with my quite unfortunate mishap with the candy, was it?
No, you met Sayan Malbec, the head of another country.
Okay.
Different queen.
Right, okay. Oh. So I've gone over everything and I'm just kind of pondering it. Can you read that? And I'll hand it to Zanzyk.
Do you read Draconic?
No, what's this, chicken scroll?
No.
That's the most commonly written language in this country.
I'll take it back if you like. Okay, so I know he wasn't being terribly helpful. He wasn't being verbally helpful, but
he wasn't supposed to be.
No, of course not. But he's been working hard. So I'll like in as little time as possible go over it, read it out.
Just above where the last line, which is the one with Thalia, there reads resurrection accused of favoritism to heretics' friends, avoided under, and it literally lists the fact that you're a member of the clergy of Xanthus and you brought him in, so therefore he was able to act under aiding somebody else in the clergy.
Okay.
Though that you very much there's indication that this particular rage blood is bias, which he's definitely attempted to avoid that accusation entirely.
Yeah. He's in a very peculiar fuck.
He is unfortunate he's in his position.
Yes, unfortunate position. That's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of heat on him.
Yes.
He's doing what he can.
But he can take it. He's a big boy.
So I'll go over the list of things there.
To the rest of you, it's basically a shopping list of all the horrible tortures and borderlining like instant death sentences that could be dished out for heresy. Some of them are genuinely quite horrible. Others are very simple. It's very clear that a lot of political capital has actually been expended in the background on the behest of Retsam already, including the avoidance of bias. And that last line about Thalia will catch your attention, Zanzyk.
Mm-hmm.
Basically things like hanging, execution by fire.
They really don't like you, Retsam.
Hang during the quartering, being dragged by a horse and cart for every year of heresy that you've inflicted upon the world. Horrible stuff. Like genuinely, like picture every horrible medieval torture you can think of that would lead to death. Pretty much this guy's worked around it.
Mm-hmm.
This is bigger than we thought. This is bigger than I thought.
This is the work of his brother.
Who is apparently here.
Yes. Look, this should be Retsam to tell you this is his story to tell, so I won't tell it all.
Okay.
His brother's an asshole.
He sounds like it.
Sorry, gut reaction to an understatement.
His family is in some ways a little like mine.
Oh?
They're assholes.
His sister not so
much, but she let him take the fall for something that wasn't his fault, which doesn't exactly put her in my best books.
Oh.
But he seems to care for her, so I'll let him get away with it. But
all right.
The rest of them, unless he conforms to their ideals, they'd see him hang.
And with that, we'll cut back to Retsam. Retsam, we rejoin you as this figure, cloaked, cinching shadow, has walked into your room. And they pull down their hood, and you're greeted by the visage, one you haven't seen in many years, of your younger sister. This is Mead.
I rush to embrace her.
As she throws her arms around and wraps you in a big hug.
Sweet sister.
Hello, brother.
Your sight is a tonic for my soul.
You always were better with words than me. I suppose I have to start with I'm sorry.
Sorry?
She gestures vaguely, just all around. I didn't know my stupid decision would lead to this. But look at you, though. She smiles. You've come a long way.
Our past, our choices. They aid in defining us, but they are not. I have seen great things, wondrous things. I have made friends. I have seen glimpses of the world that I would never have seen if not for what happened in home. You have nothing to be sorry for that. And if my path, if if every step has led me to this unfortunate fate, my time may be short, but it was beautiful.
You always were a bit too fatalistic, though. This is hardly where the end is going to reach you. Now,
Little sister, I made friends with a Drow. The most accursed of all the elves, pretentious as high heck.
that's coming from you.
Hey, I at
She
least know I'm an
smiles.
arsehole.
Yeah, I'm sure Drow, after some re-education, are fully capable of admitting certain things.
When I first met Zanzyk, you'd love Zanzyk. When I first met Zanzyk, the guy could not... I couldn't be in the room with him for more than 5 minutes. You know how...
That's because that's how long it took you to drink the amount of beer.
But he has grown into one of my best friends. As young as he is my confidant.
And that's a good motivation, because this is not the end of the story.
But I have seen him die twice and come back. Even if I were to fall now, that is not the end of my story. That is just this chapter.
She looks at you. Could you stop with the whole death thing? You're not dying. I don't care if some drow has fallen over and gotten back up again, like, some sort of, bean or something that dies and comes back every season, or some frog that freezes to death and comes back in with the seasons. To Frank, I don't give a shit. If he's your friend, that's what matters. But this is not the end. This is not where this chapter ends, because you know what? There are people who have plans. There are people who don't follow Gond the same way the others do. Do you know what they have hidden in the archives back home, at the very underneath the crypt in the cathedrals? They have books on the heresies against Gond, as they see it. This coin, she taps it. I've seen before. It's mentioned in one of those books as being a token of one of the original heretics. She air quotes around it. Every couple of centuries, a dwarf has gone rogue. She air quotes again, from the faith, and has found one of these at some point, and it's led them on a quest of some description. None of them are successful so far, but it's weird. It's like something about nature and redemption. I don't know. It's not particularly clear. They didn't look into it. They just sort of killed them, noted the call, weird coin, and threw it away. But it means you have a purpose. You have something to find, something to do that is new and unexplored, a trail that isn't tread that the gods themselves want to put you on. And that's a challenge worthy of you. She pokes you in the chest.
Well, I certainly don't think I'm going to die. Good. I think that I am a gear in something much larger. I think...
Oh, look,
this
we're
is
not with the religious stuff. Let's not use the religious metaphors. No. Look, I'm not geared up for them. She laughs.
You know I can get quite cranked on a topic.
Oh, would you stop?
But
here I am trying to tell you how I'm going to make sure you're fine and rescue you, and you're giving me these shitty puns.
There is one problem.
You're going to be noble to a fault?
No. If Retsam really is here, he's getting a slap.
She grimaces. There's times you don't need to confront people. I confronted him once and you paid the price. I'm not inclined to see either of us suffer again for his megalomania. The situation is worse at home than it was before because of his actions. The church is... It's not in the best state. He's a fanatic and a hardliner at that. The things that the Gondian temples are producing, the great forges themselves, are different, darker. They don't... She shakes her head. It's not a good time to be Gondian in Vulcanhold. No. But that's not really the point right now. The point is there's time. It's time to stand up and do something else. If this has to be where the faith changes, and you find that, and you lead new hope back to Vulcanhold, that is what I really hope for. and you'd be able to come home because, you know, the bartender asks after you. Said you were one of his best patrons. I need to get the guy off my back. No, but it's. She sighs and just sort of looks at you, and she just sort of scrubs her face. It's difficult. Like, there's hope out here. Pockets of the faith untouched by our brother's madness are important. You're in a position to create something like that. And that's important to us now more than ever. And I don't want...
Brother's madness.
Yes. If we can get away from it, if you can run from it and disappear from it for now, so that just
what if we
leaves.
Expose it?
Not here. Exposing it here now would lead to a conflict, one that I don't think the world could deal with.
Don't mean here. I don't want my new home and my old home at wars. But that might be... If we can make him explode in front of his followers, they might see him for what he truly is.
They might, but...
And a victory here might be a good step towards that, little sister.
It may well be, but the ones here... The people who came here, at least on the Gondian side, were chosen for a reason. They brought a few people who were not the most hardline, and a lot more of them that were. The biggest attack dog that he has conveniently happens to have died on the field with that dragon. But, well, the blue dragon, the red one, she grimaces, is a different point. I don't think it'd end well if you tried to expose it here. There'd be a few of us, but it's like trying to build, you know, like wooden pickets to stand up against a landslide. They would just be wiped away. We're almost back. We'd be in a better situation if it was exposed at home, under the mountain and kept there.
I will not go gently into that sweet night. I will make it through, with your blessing and my friend's assistance. And then Retsam will see the light of day, and his crimes, his transgressions against our family, against all dwarven kind, followers of Gond, shall come to light.
And we will see that day when they come to light. And you'll be the one to bring that light. But for now, he has an army at his disposal, essentially, an army of fanatics. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure my people and I can keep him contained in Rockhall, at the very least, on the national level for a time. You complete this quest here, this path, that this coin, she gestures to you, will take you. And don't die doing it, because that would really suck for me. And then we shall see. And then you can come back victorious and safe in the knowledge that Gond believes you righteous. And then we can bring our brother screaming and kicking into the light of day. And
you just tell me what you need from me to get through this now.
Well, it seems like you've got some good friends who are willing to stick up for you. And if it comes down to it, and they do put you on the block, the platform they have for it, and it's a pocket platform, one of those magical ones that pops up, you remember, like they had at home.
I recall.
Where they have you kneel, 2 inches to the right of where your right foot will be, there is a knot in the wood. If you kick that, like tap it with your big toe hard enough, the platform the block should become essentially incorporeal. I think that's the best way of phrasing it. You'll go straight through it. So you'll have an extra second to react to get out of the way.
Understood.
Oh. And your hammer. She smiles. It's quite important. I had a moment to go look at it. I might have broken into the armory where they're keeping your stuff. If you call it, it'll come, regardless of where you are, based on what I saw of the magic.
I have had the benefit of that use, but I don't know if there's a limitation on distance just yet.
I can't believe I'm going to say this to you, given our situation, but maybe have a little faith in it. She offers.
I am nothing if not faith.
Yeah. Oh, she packs down some of her side pockets, pulls out a flask. Here.
What is this, sister?
It's beer. They're only giving you water down here.
You do take care of me.
And die. I still owe you my life.
You owe me a happy life. As long as you pursue that, your debt is clear.
I pursue the removal of the obstacle to that.
And I shall work with you to that goal.
I think we both do, as much as it seems bad. Oh, Mum says hi. She said if I happened to bump into you in my travels, as unlikely as it was, she says she misses you.
Tell Mother that I'm doing good in the world.
I'll let her know. I wouldn't come up with something quite like that and phrase it that way, so she'd know it's from you.
I'm sure she'll get both meanings on that. She knows how I am with words.
Yeah, you like sort of smash them together to come up with something that sounds metaphorical and, nice.
Oh. You can't go around smashing things with a hammer all the time. Sometimes you've got to smash them with words.
I mean, but that dragon, though.
I know!
You're like the first dwarf to actually kill a dragon in nearly 300 years.
I know. I didn't even know I could do that.
I mean, any other dwarf, and that'll be sung as a high praise at home. But it will do, in time. It's fine.
In time, they will sing songs of our adventures.
Exactly, and I won't tell Mother that you stepped in front of a lightning bolt.
My friends are good to me, and I would give them... They are the family that I found, little sister.
Good. Heaven knows you could do with a good family. She smiles.
Well, some of my blood was worth fighting for. Some of them was worth fighting.
Yeah, and some of them are worth just plain stabbing in the back when you get the opportunity to backstab that little shitbag. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I was always the potty-mouthed one.
I wouldn't stab him in the back. I want him to see the look on my face when I do it.
That's all right. When you stab him in the front, I'll stab him in the back and tell him he's a complete and utter bellend.
But first, we have a trial and a miracle.
Well, you have a trial. I have to figure out an alternative escape plan for you if you happen to need to escape. I did manage to delay the trial, by the way, so your friend can recover a little bit.
Thank you.
The guy who's going to be running it, because dear brother likes to stay in the shadows. He's not meant to be here, you see. The guy has a really bad pollen problem. Didn't get out as a kid, stayed under the mountain. So I just, stink bombs. You can change some of the stink for pollen from different plants. I just put a couple of those around his room. Slow wafting pollen. It's going to take him weeks to realise where it is. Anyway, I best be off before they get suspicious. Stone's guard is shifted to end at some point in the near future as well. Yeah, it's good to see you. Sorry I've been so cryptic. Jetson's people have been keeping an eye on me, and I've been having to slip away. Been watching Stone like hawk too. So we have to be a little bit careful how often we are available to be interacted with by your friends.
If you do need to verify yourself to my friends, find the one they call a Xanthus and call her a little dwarf.
She looks at you and just is like, you mean tiny?
Tiny. But she'll know that you're true to your word if you call her that. Or she should do. Or she might just hate you for it.
I mean, why not both? Also, it might be worth noting, she taps, she sort of like gestures towards your pockets. That coin, if you do get in a jiffy here, does technically classify as a holy symbol for both Gond and Listry. So if you need it for casting, in theory, you should be able to channel divine magics through it.
That will be most useful, I have no doubt.
Hopefully. Anyway, I best be off. I will try and get either myself or Stone or one of our friends, she air quotes, to slide you beer under the door when we can.
I shall ration what I have for now, but thank you.
No problem. It's good to see you, brother. I'm sorry it's been so long. I'm sorry I couldn't find you earlier.
I have travelled the width and breadth of this land. Oh, the stories I will tell you when we have time.
And you have a pub, and you will have to show me.
I do, and there's Dartham and underneath making beers, and we've got Brewmaster, Alehouse Drake.
Really? We'll have to talk another time.
And we have a brewery with a hell portal. That's unconnected, though.
Well, the hell portal of the brewery. She wraps you in a hug and says, anyway, another time, brother.
When this is done, we shall sit down and share everything.
When this is done and Jetsam is running back home with his tail between his legs, we shall talk. Though I will not be able to stick around long because I can't let him consolidate too much power while I'm away. He has a number of the clients in his pocket, and I have a number at my back. It's interesting.
At our core, we do not change. And where my brother is concerned, our brother is concerned. That is not a good thing.
No. But sometimes, even mountains must yield.
Journey safe, my sister.
And you, brother. And know that this is definitely not the final chapter in your tale. I won't let it be. As she hugs you and pecks you on the cheek and heads out, closing the door behind her. And the door is locked by a stone on the other side. It says, sorry, mate. Got to give variances. And that is where we'll draw this evening to a close. I know it's a little earlier, but we played yesterday and I'm sorry guys, I'm shattered. So this is a good place to call it.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
It was good.
Plus, it gives you all a little bit of time to plan for this whole trial sequence that's coming up.
Oh, yes.
So,
Yeah, we need to plot, guys.
Oh, I have thousands of ideas going through my head right now as we speak.
Witchmouth.
Unfortunately, a majority of them are probably illegal, and we need to talk about that.